Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard.
Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard. What's up, everybody? And welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the world. Episode 1,000,000, hosted by yours truly, PK Blvd Bullies. What a week, what a time, and what a show. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being loyal members of the Bullies Nation. I am joined by my co-hosts, Bad Take Bry, the one punch, and you guess what? You're knocked the fuck out, Merch Guy. And we got Sean PWG. He will go to any town in America, suck the wrestler's blood right out of their veins, put it on a card, and sell it to you. Ring announcer extraordinaire, ringside Sean. And last but not least, oh my fucking God, my oldest wrestling friend, my wrestling father, the man who said to me in 2013, "You guys are a bunch of bullies."
Wow.
I did?
I'm not good at impressions, but I'm working on my Larry impression. The one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. Larry Legend, y'all.
Thank you for that introduction, my brother. And I think it was 2011, Pat. I think it was earlier than 2013.
I want to make it later because I don't want people to know how long I've been just treading water. I want to make it seem like it's
all right. So we'll call it 2013. But like I think it was before that, actually.
When Blvd Bullies turned 5 years old, I was proud. When we turned 9 years old, I was ashamed.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
It'd be like that.
But you know what? Actually, we have this whole rundown that we're gonna get to. We've went over the show. I've taken notes. But now that I'm here and now that I'm like in the moment, yeah, I want to like suck on you, Larry, a little bit because you really are my oldest, most trusted, most loved wrestling friend. And you know, all these wrestlers on their shoot interviews, they say, you know, hey, sometimes it's about the friends you make along the way. And you don't make many friends in the wrestling business, and I have taken away one, and it's you, and you've guided me, and you've taught me every step of the way. You gave me my first opportunity. You took me by my nose and brought me over the guardrail. And you know what? Honestly, Larry, when I ring announce, I just say to myself, sound like Larry. I do my Larry impersonation. I don't even have my own voice. It's just a Larry voice, basically. It's just white Larry. White, poor Larry.
The thing about it is, Pat, one thing about you and I is we both have a lot of treble. We both have a lot of treble in our voice, just naturally. We don't have a lot of bass. And, like, I had to make a decision when I sort of started doing this thing. Like, do I want to try to, like, deepen my voice like something that I don't sound like? Or do I want to let that treble, let that pierce? Let it pierce. So, yeah, that's the thing. It's genuine. And I got to give credit where credit is due, though, guys. Honestly, although I said that about Pat, the eye for the talent was Brett Lauderdale. Brett Lauderdale was the referee of that event. Yes. I got to because I'm a real motherfucker, Pat. I'm a real motherfucker. And I'm not just going to let you fucking and not say if it wasn't for little blue eyes, old blue eyes, as I used to call them back then, to be like, yo, look at these motherfuckers right here. And I was like, damn, they're really fucking, they're more into the show than I am. And he's like, yeah, no, I was watching them. And that's how the whole thing started. The Blvd Bullies and Queens Boulevard, the Elks Lodge.
Wow.
Blue eyes now.
It's really shocking and like kind of an identity crisis to realize that Brett Lauderdale named us. It's terrible. Listen, just like Bullies, we're going to say that Bullies started in 2016, and we're going to say that Larry Legend named us, and that is the end of the story.
Yeah.
God
bless. We write the history because we make the history.
Quick side note, just if you're bored one day and you want to go watch a short web series about a bunch of drunken dudes interviewing Tony Nese in front of a chain link fence and calling it Nese's Pieces, you should check that out on our YouTube. And then, so we filmed that one night, And this is so crazy, too, because we used to go to the Elks Lodge, and we interviewed Tony Nese, and that was on a Saturday, and he was already in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah.
But then the next Monday, so we interviewed him on Saturday in the Elks Lodge and asked him a bunch of stupid, ridiculous questions. And he was a good sport. And then the next Monday, he was on Monday Night Raw debuting as a Cruiserweight. He didn't have to talk to us. And then fast forward a few months, he comes back to the Elks Lodge. He's fighting Mike Orlando, right? And Larry's in the ring just crushing it. And he goes, and it's in-ring intros because it's the main event. And he goes, and the star of Nese's Pieces.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, what a thrill, dude. What a thrill. What a time. What a time.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then we handed him a Reese's, and he used it throughout the match.
I remember that.
He used it throughout the match. So.
Dude, what the hell is this Reese's Pieces for?
And you know what? Actually, side note, sorry, I'm having a great time already. Fast forward, Larry, to NYWC Psycho Circus this time last year, the company that you started in. I inducted Tony Nese into the NYWC Hall of Fame. I didn't induct him.
Do it. You brought him in.
It's already changed.
Apollyon inducted him. But
Yeah.
I was the master of ceremonies.
All right.
So I was the master of
MC.
ceremonies when Tony Nese and SAT made the NYWC Hall of Fame. Enough about me. Let's talk about you guys.
That's quite the class. That's quite the class going in that you were a part of. It's a big deal to go into any Hall of Fame, but it's also a big deal to be like the Lawler that brings on the presenter. You know what I mean? Like Lawler at the Hall of Fame brings on whoever is inducting whoever into the Hall of Fame. That's a major role, you know? So even to be a part of that class going in, the SATs trained by Mikey Whipwreck and Tony Nese, who has been everywhere, you know, kind of treading water at that level, but great body, great. His matches are always decent. I've never seen him have a bad match. So, you know, that's a feather in your cap there, kiddo, to fucking be, you know, the presenter of that year's Hall of Fame.
Hey, you know, full circle. And
Yeah.
you know
Word
what,
up.
Larry? This is not a joke. When we were in the ring and I was handing him the microphone, I legitimately said to him, congratulations on Nese's Pieces.
Of course you did. Of course you did. You got a lot of magic moments in that NYWC
Nese's
ring.
Pieces.
Yeah.
I think that's what really put it over the top.
Absolutely. 100%. Everything counts.
Yo, thanks for watching so much. Blvd Bullies versus the World every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on YouTube. We've recently dipped our toes into the IG Live medium, which I'm instantly completely disheartened about. But
Always.
I thought it was a fun time last night, Sean. So basically,
great,
make sure
man.
to check
It was
that
awesome.
out.
I saw that. Just before, as the main event was ending, I saw, you know, Sean Nazario going live on IG with the Blvd Bullies. I was like, what's going on? But I was kind of getting some shut-eye. You know, I work early in the morning, so I didn't. So how was that?
It was
It was
fun. It
dope.
was good. I had a great time. I
We
instantly...
intended on going like
Raw?
20 minutes. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. We were
Yeah.
supposed to go 20 minutes. We wound up going, what was that, 55 minutes, Pat?
It was like an hour.
But anyway, I want to talk about that in a second. But the most important thing, Brian, do you have the giveaway for this evening?
I do.
giveaway.
The giveaway.
The giveaway.
So we're going to be giving
Let's give it
something
away.
away this evening. So this is, Brian, could you...
Deep, do, deep, do, deep.
Oh, nice.
Is that your best impression of separate ways?
Yeah.
Someday. Brian, can you tell us what that is?
It is a signed Matthew Tremont trading card made by H2O. It's an H2O card.
That's
Take
so
a look
dope.
at that legendary signature.
Yeah.
Just look at the strokes.
It's a lot of
in that
work.
signature, dude.
Quite
It's
a few
like,
strokes.
Bulldozer. It's the
Bro.
Bulldozer Matt Tremont.
He even has a legendary signature. Like he even has a legendary signature.
What a great guy.
It's amazing.
So
It's
minimum
funny to get signatures because some people really have like trash ones, like
Oh,
Akira.
God, yeah, they
Akira
just, like-
writes his name in like fucking what's it called? Not script.
So $5 minimum super chat. If you have a question for Larry, if you have a question for us, if you want to go ahead and redirect the conversation, I want to tell you guys a story.
It's $5 minimum, but it's going to be the highest one of the night.
Correct,
Yeah. Real quick before you start, Pat. Next week the giveaway will be hosted by PWJ Cards. We're doing some dope blood prints, and if you've been keeping up with us, you've seen some of the names that we've done. So if you're watching next week, you have an opportunity to grab yourself a blood print PWJ exclusive cards brought to you by the Blvd Bullies.
I want one.
All right, so
that's awesome. So tonight, $5 minimum super chat, Matt Tremont signed card. Next week, Sean sets the minimum.
PWJ blood card.
PWJ blood card. Why not? Let's get it.
Love blood.
Larry, I'm already, I know you can't see me, but I'm already smoking a Newport on stream. I just want to let you know.
Okay, well then I'm gonna take a hit of this bowl.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what?
I was gonna run to my doctor before we started, but I had no time.
Right.
For
the medicine.
I'm bowling. I'm bowling until I can get an opportunity tomorrow after work to go see the doctor, the good Dr. Robert.
So I want to tell you guys, we're still just starting out. Obviously, we're going to get to all the goings on of the wrestling weekend. But selfishly, I want to tell you guys a story or two, if that's okay.
I love stories.
All right. So, I'm working at the T-shirt shop, but I need like some secondary income. So one night, I'm out at a restaurant I go to frequently. And, I had a few drinks at the bar, and the owners are cool, and the hostess knows us. And I said, hey, I should work here. I've waited tables at, like, the hardest places. Like, my old boss at the restaurant used to, like, take me to the corner and, like, scream at me until I cried. Like, you guys seem cool. Like, I just feel like I'll be a great server at this restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, yeah, hell yeah. Okay, cool. Let's take your number. Dude, the next day, they call me.
Job interview went well.
So I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, cool. So like, yo, come in Thursday to train. So I get myself a haircut, right?
Yeah.
I get myself a fresh haircut. The haircut was $50.
That's like women prices.
Where the fuck you getting your haircut?
He went to a stylist.
I told him to give me the high fade, make me not look so bald, and trim up my beard. But yo, dude,
I mean, to a Dominican barber.
But you know what he did? Like, obviously,
Mario, man. To Mario.
Obviously, this guy like really hammed it up. Like he had in his mind, like, okay, it's a Wednesday. I'm gonna charge this guy $50. And he was like right on the face, like everything. I think he felt me up a little bit with his massage hand gun.
Did it feel nice?
Yeah,
it was great. It was
my favorite
honestly.
part.
It was a phenomenal haircut. And if I wasn't taking a second job because I was broke, it would have been a pleasure to spend $50 on this haircut. But I was still like, oh, damn, shit. That sucks, right? So anyway, I go in on Thursday. I have my black shirt, black tie, black pants, black shoes, and a new haircut.
With the Men in Black, forget where you at there.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I could do that to myself after this weekend. But so I go in, and they're teaching me the iPad. I come from a restaurant where like I had to like hand write everything and so they're showing me this iPad. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. And then they're like, oh, you can't even substitute pastas, dude. The old place I worked at, it would be like the rich ladies would ask for the most ridiculous shit, and you just had to be like, yes, okay, great. Yeah, I'm just going to argue with the kitchen about it for you. But this place, it's like, no mixing. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
That makes it really hard, doesn't it?
And then it's like a bunch of like 20-something-year-old waiters and waitresses, right? So I'm like so old. I'm by far the oldest person in this building.
Yeah, you're like, I'm an old man.
So on Thursday...
46-year-old Pat.
57-year-old. So on Thursday, I'm there, and dude, regular restaurant call time, 4:30. This place, 3. What?
Oh.
Okay, fine. I'm there at 3, right? Mm-hmm. So it's 2 waitresses and it's so slow that the people are like, all right, we're cutting somebody who wants to go home. And they both go, oh, I don't care. And then the manager's like, all right, well, rock, paper, scissors, let's go. So, like, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. The one girl wins, and they go, okay, you won, so you get to go home. And to me, it's like when you're a waiter, it's the opposite, right? Like, you stay, like, the loser goes home, but whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, yo, I'm going to run this place. This is awesome. Like, I know everything about this. This is like easy.
I know everything.
This is like easy money, right? Easy money. So Thursday, I'm just chilling. The owner comes up to me and goes, hey, you got a haircut. Nice. I go, thanks. I can't believe it was $50. Right? Okay, so fast forward. I work that day. I go home like early, 6-hour shift, whatever. Next day, 3 o'clock to like 12 o'clock, 9 hours. I'm following this person. I'm helping out. I'm busting tables. I'm running food. I'm getting drinks. I'm fucking crushing it. And I'm like, yo, I know exactly what's about to happen here. Like, I'm gonna make $1 million at this place. So at the end of the night, they sit down, and it becomes obvious that they're not even gonna pay me at all. Like,
I mean, that's a stage.
Yeah, but like, usually
waiters
when you're
is like
training
standard.
and helping out, they throw you like
That's
a 20, a 40.
Yeah,
Unpaid,
they
it's
give
like,
you
I
food.
think-
They give you, where I come from, they give you food.
They fed you pasta. They fed you pasta, Pat. I remember that
They
text.
did give me pasta.
They
did
gave-
Yeah, that's what they do. They give you a
All
plate.
right, so maybe I fucked up, but they're like, yo, like, so how'd it go? And I was like, great. You know, I think I'm ready to be a really good waiter at this place. And they're like, no, you know, you just did 2 days of training. Like, you don't really know the menu. You're not going to be a good waiter until you know the menu. And I was like, well, you know, I think I'll be a good waiter right now, but I'll be a great waiter when I know the menu.
Right.
Because I didn't have it in my heart to tell them, like, yeah, I could just bullshit my way through this whole thing. Like, it's fine, you know? But I think, like, it might have offended them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they're like, all right. And then they're like, okay, well, what else? And I was like, well, you know, I can't really work for free. You know, I can't like, you know, I've trained like, you know, 16 hours in the last 2 days and like seen $0. So, you know,
I've seen some pasta though.
You know, thanks for the pasta, but like, you know, is there a timeline here? And they were like, you know, I could see in their faces they didn't like that, right? So they're like, oh no, we were gonna pay you. Here's your thing. Here's your form, whatever your payment form. You know, let's meet up on Wednesday. So today I get a text.
I mean, they should tell you how long you have to train before you will be paid.
That I agree on.
So you know, listen, I'm being self-deprecating in this story. I guess I could zero in on moments where maybe communication could have been better on their end. But basically, At the end of the day, today I get a text that goes, hey, Pat, it's like, you know, the owner of the place. You know, listen, based on like the schedule and like the timeline that you're looking at, you know, I don't really think that it's like a fit for us because, you know, like we need somebody to work like every weekend. But, you know, send us your form and we're going to pay you for the last 2 days. And also I'm going to throw in an extra $50 for that haircut.
Yeah,
So
well,
I
you
feel like me saying the thing about the haircut.
They were done once you did that.
Haircuts on me, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. In other words, they told you go get your fucking shine box.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's so funny.
Whew.
What a tenuous position to be in when you're like not really a member, but trying to become a member, and you gotta like
Yo.
be careful with what you say.
I'm such an
Because
idiot, dude.
You know, the sword of Damocles is hanging over your head that, hey, we know you want to be a part of this, but
Right.
you fucked it up.
To
You
be
know,
a part
if
of it,
I-
you basically have to be the Bocce Boys.
If I
Just
had,
do everything
hey,
that they-
whoa.
You said it.
If I had just said like, yes, sir, thank you, sir, and walked out, they probably would have looked at each other and been like, that guy's going to be the best waiter we have. But instead I was like, oh, you know, hey, listen, I saw the total checks for the night, you guys made $8,765. Like, think you could throw me $25 for helping out? They were like, who is this guy? Fuck this guy. Here's money for your haircut, bitch.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Pat? You're too smart. You're too bright for them. You're looking at numbers already. You know, you're looking at numbers
I should have just kept my big mouth shut.
Yeah, play your position, get in there, and then jerk off.
Right.
You know?
Sometimes you just gotta know when to shut the fuck up.
I jerked off too early.
Yeah.
Speaking of jerking off, by the way, I just want to clarify something that happened last night on the live stream. You know, I've been making the joke for the last 10 years. If you go back and watch the first YouTube video, it's just a funny, weird thing that we had going where when anybody would say come, somebody would chime in and go, C-U-M.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Coming.
And, you know, the friends that did that are long gone. And I feel like I'm the only one still doing that. So I just want to say, listen, there was Suck It. Now there's Scissoring. Blvd Bullies are on the future, the cutting edge.
The cusp.
And I am going to personally make sure that come is the next wrestling thing. All right? So if you ever hear me say C-U-M, just know that that's just Shawn Michaels telling you to suck it. Okay?
I'm coming. Who had that theme song? That was MVP. I'm coming.
All right. I'm done. I've said my piece. Somebody else take over the show. What's the next major thing we're going to talk about? I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm going to mute myself for like the next 3 minutes.
Well, yesterday we had our little Instagram live about Monday Night Raw, but we didn't speak about the Elimination Chamber for this past Saturday. Very emotional.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
It was
emotional, an emotional pay-per-view, right?
It was great. I saw it written up as maybe possibly being a perfect pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, it gave me such like old school, like, wow, we're almost at WrestleMania feel, you know?
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You remember how No Way Out made you feel?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, this is a good story to lead into. And we got that. But before we got that, we had an Elimination Chamber match that was for the U.S. title. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome too. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
It was very different, and I think we've seen the Montez Fords that we're going to be seeing for the future. He kind of stole the show in a way, and it was like, all right, kid, let's see what you got.
Yo, I think Gargano was right there with him though. Like I think the
God, I haven't seen Gargano that good since NXT.
I've been so bored with him too. I've been really bored with him. Yeah.
Montez did that shit from the top where he looked like fucking Batman, dude.
And the Hurricane Rana
let's not forget about Bronson Reed.
Oh
yeah, him as exactly. He had the Big Show role. The Big Show role from Survivor Series 01.
Oh
where,
yeah.
You know, makes a big impact. Then they all gang up on him and get his ass out of there.
Yeah, except he took a Dragon Rana too, a Poison Rana.
Poison Rana.
Yeah.
That kind of defied physics. That kind of like, I think one of the most spectacular parts about that was it's like, whoa, this can't happen, but it did.
Yeah.
You know, like
I was really worried, like in the. I guess I have a weak stomach now. The spots where the guys were upside down. Like that whole Dragon Rana spot, the powerbomb Hurricane Rana off the top.
Well, you hate any trauma to the head.
Oh, my God, it was scary.
You're not a trauma guy.
Yo, but, you know, I think Johnny Gargano's value to the match was not only what he did in it, but I feel like it had his fingerprints on it.
Yeah,
like, it had an indie feel to it, you know?
Yeah.
And it was a good, but it was a good mix of, like, WWE. It's like they snuck it in. Like him, Rollins, Bronson, Montez Ford was probably like, yeah, fuck it. That's awesome. Let's go. You know?
Yeah, he's got to play. I mean, he was like, he was broken in to like that indie style, right? And Evolve. Remember they were the Evolve tag team.
Larry, I was just going to say, think about Evolve, like Austin Theory, Gargano, you know, are in there.
Primetime players.
Yeah, so it's pretty dope. I mean, I think Montez Ford was the guy who everyone was looking at to give the flowers. So, like, he did awesome shit that got him it. But they were all great, you know, like, and I thought Montez was going to win. I would love to see Montez.
I wanted it. I was ready for it, dude.
They're not going to give it to us just yet. But, you know, real quick, just if I can just jump on that Montez thing right now. Do you guys feel that the fact that Montez is a member of a power couple is like giving him more shine
Absolutely.
than
Absolutely.
Dawkins.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because Dawkins is, don't sleep on Dawkins, y'all.
No,
like,
but
Dawkins has really good matches,
but
and he's a really quality wrestler.
But
I don't think he's as attractive. You know,
right? Well, that's what I'm
Dude,
trying to say.
fucking Montez
like,
moves in slow motion. There's something about the way Montez moves that's special, man. It's like he literally like stops in midair and shit.
Yeah, I mean that's what we were speaking about yesterday. It was like we're in the age of the different breed of athlete wrestler, where you have athleticism from all over the world that's already engulfed in a certain type of sport, whether it be rugby, whether it be soccer, whether it be American football, basketball, track, you name it. There's already some sort of athleticism in them. Once that WWE style of wrestling gets adapted to that, sky's the limit. Look at Bianca. Look at Montez. Look at Dawkins. You know what I'm
Wrestlers
saying?
have always kind of been like sports guys, though. Like wrestlers were like football players and shit.
No, yeah, true. But I think this chamber was the very first time that we had a very indie style match in the chamber. Like it kind of made me feel like I was watching TNA when they had that red cage. Remember that? That it kind of looked like a chamber.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and Elix Skipper went to the top of it. Homicide couldn't get out of it. It was on Botchamania. But you guys remember when we were watching it, I messaged our group and I was like, yo, this is like WWE's Cage of Death.
Yeah.
Right? And I never felt that way before.
Somebody said that in the comments, actually.
What's that?
Somebody said that in the comments. Exactly that.
That's the feeling I got with Rollins, especially when Rollins was on the top of the pod with Gargano.
Oh, that was so great.
And, dude, they had that moment where it's like,
and then he just chopped him. Yeah, that was awesome.
Banging his head into the glass. It was awesome. Like
that was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all looked great. I will say this, that in the Royal Rumble, they opened with the men's and then put the women's on right before the main. And I thought that was a mistake. I think they should have flip-flopped it. Women's first and then men's. Because, listen, if everything's equal, women's can open it just as good as the men's can, right?
Yeah, but then it's like ladies first. That's all chivalry.
Okay,
that shit is dead,
But in this,
not like most girls.
In the Elimination Chamber, they did the men's right before the main and opened with the women's. And I think they should have flip-flopped this. I think they should have opened with the men's, have a few normal matches, let the crowd come down, because the men's was so dope. The men's was so good.
And that was just for the U.S. The women's title should have been later in the card.
You know what I mean? So then you go you go men's right into the Roman Sammy, and I mean it worked. It's fine. Everything's very powerful, so it's not a big deal. But I'm just saying, like theoretically speaking, I would have flip-flopped the Rumble and then flip-flopped the Chamber. And I didn't think that until I saw the Chamber, and like halfway through that match, just about the time that 400-pound Bronson Reed was just upside down for no reason, I was like, this probably should have gone on like earlier, because this is like awesome. Could have been the main, should have been the main, but it just so happens that like Mick Foley's ghost is now coming back and working with Roman Reigns. By the way, Captain Dave.
They were in Montreal. Those fans don't get shit often. They don't they don't get shows, so maybe they just didn't want to edge them into crescendo. They just wanted to just bam, bam, just hit them with that bam, bam, like wham, bam, bam, right away. Tonight. Yeah,
the double.
But I definitely get that kind of understanding of flip-flopping them and having the women go right before Sammy Roman.
When you said you didn't want to have kids, who got a vasectomy? Me. When you said you maybe want to have kids, who had the vasectomy reversed? Me. Then when you said, you know what, I don't think I want to have kids, who had the vasectomy again? Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip. All right, so let's talk about the best thing in wrestling right now, which is the main event of Elimination Chamber, the opening segment of Raw last night, which is Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, the Usos, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes.
Solo's just gone now. He's just missing.
Yeah, what happened?
That's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
he failed the wellness test.
Well, funny you say that. You said he failed the wellness test?
He's speculating.
Oh, speculation. Good speculation.
No,
Allegedly.
He
breaking
just had
news.
he just had a T-shirt released. So maybe they're waiting for something to repackage and bring him back on TV right before Mania, so he has his match.
I mean, he's technically the only one that listened to Roman Reigns because
He
he
was
told everyone to
sent
stay home.
Yeah,
Right, he told everybody. He technically told everybody to stay home.
I'm a little unclear about what actually happened. Do you remember when Paul Heyman told Jimmy and Jay to stay home?
Yes.
Did he say to stay home for the go-home show of SmackDown, or did he say to stay home for the pay-per-view?
For the go-home.
Or for both?
He didn't really specify. He said stay home and watch the show, but Friday was first, so he must have been referring to SmackDown.
Huh. Okay. I mean, I've been wondering that.
And the thing was, they were in the same building for 2 nights in a row.
Was it only 2 nights? They were in Canada for like. It was
Friday and Saturday. They were there for the Montreal Stadium, whatever it's called. They were there for 2 days in a row. And Monday they were in Ottawa.
Oh,
yeah,
got
Ottawa.
it. Understood.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Just let's get through this real quick because there's so much to talk about. I want to go around the room. WrestleMania predictions for Sami Zayn, the Usos, Kevin Owens. Brian, you first.
I think that eventually Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to have a joyous hug. They're going to be best friends, and they're going to take down the Bloodline together, and they will have a championship match versus the Usos at WrestleMania, and they will be victorious.
Sean?
Yeah, I agree with Brian. I think there's going to be some sort of beatdown involving Sami Zayn where Kevin Owens is going to be up against the wall to save his friend or allow him to get beat again because he already made emphasis on the fact that he didn't want to see him get beat the way that his family saw him get beat. So I say Solo Sikoa and his cousin Jimmy are going to put the beats on Sami. You know what I'm saying? Nobody comes out, and then out comes KO eventually.
Yeah, it'll be like the same thing with the handcuffs. He'll be like handcuffed to something,
Yeah.
Sami.
Roman Reigns does like either holding the titles or the handcuffs and like whipping them around in like a sexy way. Have you noticed that? He goes like, huh?
Yeah, I've noticed.
Like puts his hips into it. Yeah, all right, now and finally the legendary one, Larry.
No, I mean, I think we sort of touched on this in our group chat, but yeah, I think that's the natural progression of it, and the best thing that they could do. But that also begs to the question that a lot of the times when it seems like it's going so right, how they could be like, oh, let's swerve everybody and troll them because we know what is going to make everybody happy and the way that people want to see this. But this is our world, and you guys will like what we say you'll like, and you'll eat what we say you eat. And I'm just saying, we talked about that, eventually, as is the nature of these unions, something's got to go sour in Denmark. So what if we saw that play out at Mania, which would be like the ultimate swerve where we're thinking like, oh, happy, beautiful, storytelling. And look, what if Owens and Generico like mess up or something, and then we see that fall out right then and there.
Well, I honestly said that yesterday.
You're thinking like it's going to be just Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and then
I feel like I could see that
Uso versus Uso.
Because I feel like if you asked Sami like what he wanted to do, because Sami is smart to a point.
We've had Kevin and Sami like more than one time already.
Right, but I feel like that's what they want to do. So I feel like it's a possibility.
They've never teamed. They've never done that together yet. It's something that they've never done. That's what I'm saying.
They have that relationship where it's like you love to see them fight, and I think in order for them to take down,
like if they team, then
take down the Usos, they'd have to bury the hatchet of what they have in front of them. There's a lot there. A lot has happened with them. This has been a build-up for like 2 years now of them going at it with each other. They're friends. They're not friends. They're doing their own thing. They wind up crossing each other again.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If this whole thing ends with Sami versus Kevin at WrestleMania, I will be very, very disappointed. Extremely disappointed. I feel like
I'm not saying maybe that it leads to a showdown between them at Mania, but if they are on the losing end of things, like we're sort of picturing this thing the redemption and victorious. Canada wins, right? But
Well, you have to, don't you?
They've had the titles for so long. This is like the moment that
You
they
have
they
to do
need
it,
to
don't
lose
you?
them. Right. It's like it gives somebody else the power if they do it at WrestleMania.
You know what I've noticed with these 2-night WrestleMania things? They like to carry storylines from night 1 into night 2.
Mm.
And there's always one little story that picks up and over. From last year, we had Austin. He had the match with KO. The following night, he came out and he was involved with with McMahon
Right.
and Theory and McAfee. So maybe night 1, we get Sammy KO. And then the very next night, we have them teaming up against the Usos for the tag titles.
Larry,
And you're putting on an insane match like of the many they've had, and even the one they had in Hammerstein.
If you can beat me, I'll help you.
And you have that in you have that in WrestleMania and SoFi Stadium. You know what I'm saying? Look at how people remember that match in Hammerstein. How would they remember a match like that at WrestleMania? Then the very next night, go for the tag titles and win. That's a story.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Larry, what were you going to say? You want to give me your final thought on this, Larry, before I take it to the comments?
I'm only supposed to talk about the Usos and Owens, or I'm talking about Reigns too.
Oh, just be yourself.
The Bloodline storyline.
Be your charming self, and just tell me your final WrestleMania Bloodline storyline thoughts.
I see the Bloodline losing everything.
Yep.
I see them going bankrupt. I see them finally going belly up. All the gold is gone. And then we get to watch the recovery. Like, we get to watch how that happened. Like, who fucked up in the Uso match? Or Jay and Jimmy gonna, everything. Paul, it's
going to be so good. The climb back up is going to be so funny.
I'll tell you this. Not only were there illusions and little breadcrumbs dropped for the return of adrenaline in my soul, something, Brandy Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I think there might have been a few breadcrumbs dropped for Heyman latching on to Cody after the win. I think there was
what? I'm going to say this because I know this is what's going to happen. The Bloodline storyline has been based off of a lot of Godfather, Goodfellas storyline movies. You always have the Weasel. The Weasel is always the wisest of all men because it's how they know how to slither in between everyone in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep our eyes on Paul Heyman for the next 39 days because it's going to be very interesting. And Cody Rhodes is someone to also keep your eyes on because he's someone who's also very sly.
Okay, but I don't think that Cody is going to turn heel with Paul. I think if anything, Cody will win the title. Personally, I would love for Roman to beat him, but where do you go from there? But so let's say Cody wins. Cody then has like a defense. And Paul latches onto Cody, but I don't think Cody turns heel. I think Cody is still himself. He's the biggest baby face in the business.
I'm not saying that he goes heel. But it's like
Paul, like everybody knows that Paul is bad, and they do like that kind of dynamic. That
so what I'm
Cody's still okay. Go ahead, yeah.
Is the crumble of the empire is in his eyes, and everybody who's in a crumbling empire is looking for a ship to jump to. So right now he's trying to jump on a ship that has its back to him. So he's falling down the slide, but he's still swimming towards it. He's doing it for a reason. We know Paul all too well.
Mm-hmm.
He did it at the Rumble last year in St. Louis, and he'll do it again. It's like Shawn Michaels. He always turned on his partners when it favored him most. You cannot forget that in wrestling. That's what a lot of people
I just want Paul Heyman to be back with Brock Lesnar so Brock Lesnar can stop wearing a fucking cowboy hat.
Brian!
But we're going to move towards that because Brock Lesnar has a story going into WrestleMania. I know Pat wanted to speak of that.
So bad.
Well, whatever. I don't even care about that anymore. Let's get to the comments and keep going on.
Oh, yeah. What's everybody saying?
Adam's going
off. First of all, Pajama Dan, shout out. Thanks for joining. You have no idea what 3 vasectomies can have on a guy. You have no idea the toll that 3 vasectomies can have on your guy. Adam says Solo's been on Instagram. All of the bloodline will lose at Mania, and Roman will be Sammy for all of it, and that feud will continue. Blame Sammy. Blame Sammy for all.
Blame him.
Dave, Captain Dave in the house.
Captain Dave.
Captain Dave says also Larry, one of my first wrestling friends. Captain Dave. Well, I gotta say, Sami Zayn, aka El Generico, is trying to be a hero, and he's trying to follow the footsteps of Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns is a great one. KO will be the next Stone Cold. All right, agree to disagree. Sammy is Mick Foley, who is Charlie Brown. But even Charlie Brown won once in a while. Well, Sami Zayn's not going to win. Sami Zayn's best chance is to win a Stone Cold Shawn Michaels-like tag title. All right, hey, Heyman for GM, Urka with the $5 super chat is now in the running for the card. Brian, show the card. Thank you, Brian. $5.
Heyman for GM. Larry, what do you think?
Urka. Heyman for GM. Hey, well, we've been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
I wouldn't mind him back on commentary.
That'd be a nice role for us to hear his voice. But commentary's a little crowded right now, and that's one of the big downfalls of AEW.
Yep.
There's so many goddamn voices. You're like,
well, in WWE, they went back to 2-man teams on both shows, I think. It's no longer 3.
Who's going to lose their spot?
Well, right. I know what you're saying.
You know?
Hey, you know what I want to talk about just to finish up Elimination Chamber? Not the matches, but the ring announcing.
She used her metal voice.
I have read, and it's funny because you guys texted me this, saying that, what's her name? Samantha Irvin,
yeah.
Who won a contest, right? She won a contest. Is this the young lady who won the ring announcing contest?
Yeah.
Like a Chad
went
Minis
out
contest?
and impressed so much that they were like, "You're hired."
I didn't hear that. I just knew that she was like a person who's doing the thing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's her origin story, Pat. She got an opportunity. WWE was doing some sort of like, be the next ring announcer, submit your video to our whatever.
For SummerSlam in Vegas.
Yeah, and Samantha Irvine won. She got her opportunity by winning, and she killed it so much that they just brought her on.
I mean, she's great. I think she's great.
She's amazing, dude.
We all agree unanimously in the group text that she is amazing.
Phenomenal.
And, you know, I did read, before I even saw the shade and the criticism on Twitter, I read something like 2 weeks ago, and by read, I mean saw a headline and did not click on it.
That's reading.
Right.
So I read it. It was like Triple H tells Samantha Irvine to use her, you know, Lemmy voice or heavy metal voice, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can. She does.
It's guttural as fuck, dude.
Yeah, she gets deep with it.
Yeah.
She's animated and she's just like into it. And he like, you know, I know that Larry was sending us messages saying like Cornette was not very hot on her and like saying that he misses who was it the Fink. He misses the Fink. But even to be like compared to that, like you missed that, and like this lady is now being compared to that. She's that good, and I think that she is.
I agree, Brian.
She is this generation's Howard Fink.
If you give her a chance, goddammit, Cornette. Howard Finkel was there for like 40 years. You know,
he also did every show.
Like
facts.
You know, he also did like every single show. Yo, so Larry, I want to get your take on this.
Yeah. On the announcing?
On the announcing, because there's a fine line between hyping up the crowd and being the best you could be and stepping on toes and maybe making an older person think that you're being too, you know, that like you're just being entertaining in your mind.
They're trying to get the shine.
But you're being selfish. They think you're being selfish.
You're making it about yourself.
Right. So you know, there's Justin Roberts, who does basically the same thing that Mike Rome does, who does the same thing that Samantha Irvin does, which is like super over bombastic heavy metal announcing. Now, to me, the modern crowds
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Justin Roberts is more like sport. Is like he reminds me of more like sports. He's like more sporty, like a basketball announcer.
Yes, Brian, like the announcer at the Brooklyn game, which
right.
I auditioned. I tried out for that. They were once holding open audition for the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep, I was there.
I went down there. I tried it. But I wasn't too knowledgeable about the game of basketball, so I got disqualified.
So Larry, just give me your take about like loudness versus showmanship versus like not the delicate balance of not putting yourself over too much, but being over just enough and having a great voice. Do you like the Samantha Irvin? Do you not? You know, just give me all your knowledge. Give us all your knowledge.
Well, when I was messaging y'all, I kept using this phrase stank. I kept saying like she's putting stank on her words. And that type of attention to like the way that you say the town that a person is fighting out of, you know, like I think she announced someone from Nashville, Tennessee or something. And
From
like
Nashville, Tennessee.
bro, I was like, yes, Nashville. I was like, hell yeah, Nashville. Nashville up in this motherfucker. Bro, and that's the intangible where, like, you know, you can accentuate the whole fucking deal by doing little things like that, and it makes you actually not technically the best, but the fucking best because of the way you're making people feel when you do what you do. So
move in the room. You move in the room.
love her. I love the NXT girl too, Alicia Taylor. Is that her name?
She's
Taylor
dope.
on NXT. I like her.
She's dope.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking? She always wears flats. She never wears like heels.
She's
She's
put
always
some stank on it.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like Jimmy Swaggart preaching.
Well, and it's
It's
like a
like
rhythm too. It's like a subliminal
Yes,
rhythm.
dude,
Like
yes.
most of the fans are like, you know, it's not crazy to think that most of the fans are just listening to the entrance music and watching the wrestler, but there's a rhythm of like, you know, either whether you're doing it while they're walking down or whether you're doing it in ring, you know, even if somebody's not really listening, there is a rhythm that sets the tone, you know, and it is very tonal. And, you know, Larry, you've inspired my tonal to search for new tones because, you know, the classic one, Casanova, Valentine, right? And it's like instead of doing the classic
I love
Finkel.
announcing those words. I announced him twice. I announced him twice at the fucking last thing just because I wanted to. You know, like, you know, I was like, dude, fuck this. He's getting two announcements.
But it speaks it speaks to like the originality of the tone. And, you know, like Michael Buffer would go a slow climbing route, but to play with the tone, you know, it's basically the same. I mean, Samantha Irvin's great. She's just like got great pipes. She doesn't have like smart tone. She's just screaming the name, you know?
No, but it's good. I think the tone is good, though. It's not like she's not out of fucking tone.
You know, I was thinking.
You have to know the tone. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that you have to know that everybody has to feel this. This is that important.
Dude, she gives me chills, dude. You don't give people chills if you're not
hitting.
Yeah, true.
That's all that matters. And Cornette, his time is passing him by.
He's an old man.
You know, I agree with a lot.
87-year-old Cornette.
I agree a lot with what he says, but I don't agree with his
knowledgeable 87-year-old man.
Yeah, 98-year-old Jim Cornette, you know.
When's the last time he was at a fucking live event?
Right.
You know, I was thinking
about
I was thinking about it. It's like much easier to be a WWE ring announcer because like the wrestlers have to do the work in the commercials. But in AEW, Justin Roberts has to like talk to people during the commercials.
So how's everyone doing out there?
Yeah, hey, how you doing? We're back in 15 seconds. You know, hey,
they do
great
that
sign.
at WWE events. They do that.
Yeah, it's
house shows.
I feel
do not like his personality at all.
They tell you when the commercials are cutting, like they're when they're about to come back live. No,
neither I have Raw or SmackDown. No, they don't do that. It's straight TV time.
It's quiet.
There's a dim light on the ring, and the main focus is on the Tron. And if it's a house show, the main focus is on the house monitor on the top.
Sean knows.
Yeah, I know my shit, baby.
So what else is going on in the wrestling world?
I love the announcers on TV in WWE right now. I actually think it's some of the best announcing, commentating and announcing. I think that's one of the reasons that they're pulling ahead and firing on all cylinders. They really got a good rhythm with all the sounds, the narrators. I like to call
just the production
and the announcers the narrators of the show, you know, and they got a good team over there.
Everything's been on point, man. And I love that they went back to 2-man teams.
Yeah, I love that Byron is doing what he's doing too, because for a while all of the backstage correspondents were girls. It was just another like some more tits, like
Facts.
hey, So I'm like, yeah, thank you, Byron. Like, thanks for, even though they're humiliating him because his goal is to be a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And like it's like you'll do what we say, like and.
Be happy to be here.
It's so fucked up, like, because he was decent, wasn't he? He was an alright wrestler, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him wrestle.
No, I don't
He
think
did
so.
the
either.
NXT. He did NXT when it was on Sci-Fi. He was on the Titus O'Neil class.
Another person I've never seen wrestle is Corey Graves. Because he was a wrestler.
I've never seen him wrestle.
Too, right? He was an NXT guy.
Yeah, he wrestled like Neville, Kevin Owens, and stuff like that.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yo, what's up, Alicia? Stuff. Shout out, Alicia. Everybody watch Alicia do her
what up?
Impact Wrestling reaction show, which I hear is very good, but usually I'm playing new video games on Thursday.
Yeah, if you want to know about Impact, definitely give that a watch.
Speaking of video games, I could have done speaking of Impact, but speaking of video games, have you guys, any of y'all, started watching or playing The Last of Us?
Of course.
I actually started
I finished it. I'm watching it.
What about you, Larry?
Mid-season.
Well, the game.
The only game that I play is Words with Friends.
I'm gonna play with friends with you, Larry. I'm gonna friend you.
Yeah, let's do it. It's the only
I
was a big Nintendo mark, and with my last partner, I did a lot of Switch.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, a lot of Smash on Switch, a lot of Smash on Switch. But then after kind of breaking up, I realized how much time we were wasting doing it and how toxic it was to us. So
no, hey, listen, you keep your brain sharp from Words with Friends.
Yeah, I like that, and that's my instrument and thinking of shit and saying shit. So I like playing that, and I've been playing it now for like 12 years straight.
That's dope. It's literally like flipping a thesaurus every day and learning a new word.
Well, also like
sometimes
it becomes a matter of just like trying shit to win.
Right.
I'm a big winner.
You can put like X
the vibe. I'm a big winner. I gotta win. So sometimes I'll just like try shit and it'll work, and I'm like, oh shit. What is Fjord? What is a Fjord? Or some shit, a small inlet in like Swiss mountains or something.
Right.
But now, what system are y'all are boys? So it must be PS5s.
Oh, I wish. I
play Tetris on my iPad.
Wait, you still can't get a PS5? It's still hard to get?
Oh, I don't know if it's hard to get. I just gave up looking. It's like,
no, you could grab. I think that they're everywhere now from what I'm reading.
Oh, wow.
You can just walk into a store. I need a PS5.
Hello, PS5, please.
Yeah. How much do they cost?
It's gotta be like
an arm and a leg, $600.
$599.
Yep, like 6 and some change. And you want a game, it's an extra $100.
How fucking weird is it? How hard it was to get that shit for so long. That's never happened before.
It was like registering
COVID, right?
for pair of sneakers.
Yeah, I think it was like a whole like parts and they weren't able to ship shit. It was like a whole weird thing.
The people who are making the parts, we weren't taking anything from them.
Had COVID.
Because of the COVID stuff. So it made it much harder to grab a system. And
they thought they were going to try to get us with that shit.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Urka.
Yeah.
We were all in our houses weird as fuck for a second.
Yeah. I almost got a Switch. At the beginning of COVID, I almost got a Switch, but then they were like expensive. And they were expensive and you couldn't get them. I was like, oh shit, I missed the ball.
I got one for my COVID birthday.
You did?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I almost got one during COVID, and then when I saw how much I was going to have to spend up from what it actually would be if I could just get one, I was like, oh no.
Hell no.
Hell yeah. I'm wasted.
Yo.
Hey, what else is going on?
Last of Us. Talk more about The Last of Us.
Larry, have you watched it? If you haven't watched it, I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, I haven't watched it, so don't talk about it.
All right, so forget about it. But everybody,
it's okay.
It's a good time.
I'm here.
Probably if you're watching right now, follow
Boulevard. Larry. I think if there's ever going to be a game for you to play that's based on a show now, I think maybe you should watch the show and then get into the game. It's a cool game to
That's
get into.
technically what I'm doing. I
It's
have
very
never
fun.
played the game.
It's a dope story, and if there's one thing I would recommend, it'd be The Last of Us. So check it out if you have the time.
All right. The last show I religiously swore by to the point that I went out and got the DVD box set was Oz.
Wow.
That's
Old
a while
school
ago.
HBO, 1999.
97 to 99. I think it was by the time I became a New Yorker, I moved to New York in 99. Oz was like rapping, but
Wow, dude. Such a good
Yeah.
year in New York City. Good pizza, good orange soda.
Dreamcast came out September.
Wow.
Dreamcast, damn it.
Dreamcast. I remember I had a promo disc that had Sonic, NBA 2K,
Crazy
NFL
Taxi.
2K, Crazy Taxi, and House of the Dead.
I think I had that shit too, bro.
I was like with the gun, pang, pang, killing
I
zombies.
had the WWF Attitude and Warzone.
Royal Rumble. you
Oh
had?
God. I had
Yo.
I had Warzone, but I didn't get Attitude. Attitude started with like a rest in peace to Owen Hart, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't Attitude the first one though?
I think Warzone.
No,
might have
Warzone.
been first.
Warzone.
Yeah.
Warzone was
Yeah.
97.
Whichever
with
that
Bret
first
Hart.
It
game
might have been the
was.
same. It might have been the same year. They both might have came out in '97.
97, 98.
I think Attitude came out a little bit later.
Close.
Because Owen
First one
died
had
in
Bret.
Owen died in 99. And I remember
Oh,
they
you're right.
started it off with a still of him like
You're definitely right.
doing the blue blazer like I'm number one.
R.I.P. Owen.
Classic shit.
Yeah.
Classic motherfucking
Great
shit.
games.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
All right,
whichever one.
Anybody watch XPW?
No.
I watched the girl twerking on the mic.
God.
I watched that guy. I watched that guy Lou Nixon.
Nixon
from the
was
UK.
awesome.
Yeah,
Drake Younger and
I
Lou
saw
Nixon.
him like
Fucking
taking a light
shit.
tube and putting it in front of Drake, then kicking it, taking the light tube, putting it in front of
Dude, he
Drake. and
did
then
like
kicking it.
13 in a row.
Yeah,
Drake
I saw
did.
that.
So Drake got his ass kicked?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I
they
just saw a
both got
clip.
their ass kicked, bro.
Dude,
Drake always crushes it.
their clips out of everything that happened this weekend. Those clips from the, what is it? Death Tornado or whatever? Suicide.
Sharknado.
Yeah, Suicide Sharknado. What's the name of Masada? Faces of Death.
The Faces of Death.
Hey.
Faces of Flesh.
Faces of
Dude,
Death.
Atticus, I'm going to tell you right now, Atticus Koger being the mystery boy.
He was the
made me
mystery
hype.
MAGA. He was the mystery MAGA boy.
Mystery MAGA, he chose death, bro.
I was a little upset that he didn't come out with
He was
the
proud to be a mystery man.
the American flag pants. I mean, what?
Should have had like red, white, and blue skewers.
Yeah, why wouldn't he make all new merch with red, white, and blue MAGA stuff? I
Well,
mean,
because he kept his own. I like that he kept his own colors.
I
He
bet
kept
you, I
his
bet you did
6
like
color.
that, Brian.
I did.
I bet you did.
It was awesome, dude. I mean, I will say that Necro Butcher was like heavily winded midway through the match and like not able to do very much. But dude,
Oh my God,
the man was
Larry,
almost dead.
do you remember January 3rd, 2019, or
How
whatever?
could I forget?
Whatever the hell date it was, where
How could I
Necro Butcher
forget?
fought Schlack.
How could I forget January 4th?
Oh, I was so close, dude. I just guessed.
Dude, he
Yeah,
looked like a
and guess
goddamn
what?
skeleton.
Guess what? That was the last time ICW was ever in that beautiful
Eagle.
venue that is the White Eagle Hall in Newark, New Jersey. But you know who was there just last weekend?
Brett.
Yeah,
Hey,
he had been waiting to get in there.
could you tell
He had been
me,
waiting to get in there.
Larry, could you talk to us a little bit about that first ICW Change show, and most specifically, Schlack versus Necro Butcher? Necro Butcher was emaciated. He looked like a Dark Souls boss.
Dude, it's scary.
Yeah, and it was, and I was like, wow, this is like emotional. And now Necro Butcher, he's like a beefy boy.
It's a big guy.
He's a beefy MAGA boy.
Man.
You know what I joke with Schlack, and you know what I always joke with him, and I always say, bro, you beat Necro back to life.
He punched him back to life. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, after that, he was like, God damn, he beat me so bad, I gotta live. You know, like I always joke with him that. But you know, I'm gonna tell you something. When I saw him in the back, I literally thought to myself, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing?
I felt that way watching it, honestly.
Yeah, because I was like, when you see someone that looked as thin and sickly as him in the blood game, okay, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dripping.
You can't help but think, like, does this guy have AIDS?
Well, what did he
Yeah.
have? He had like some kind of like pancreatic cancer or
He
something.
beat cancer. The boy beat cancer, I thought.
Yeah, he was really ill.
I believe it was. I don't think it was pancreatic, because I don't.
It was
think
I
some
just
form
made that
of
up. I
cancer.
guessed. I just guessed.
That's what got Steve Jobs. That's what you say when you get that. You're done. Ain't no
Ugh.
coming back.
It's a
from
bad
that.
one.
It's
That's
so,
a bad
yeah.
one.
But
It's not like the good Hodgkins.
no, but I just remember after the match there were like pictures of him at Graceland in a wheelchair. He was just in his old grandpa socks, like looking like, all right, yo, it's time for me to go.
Like for real, just for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. It
He
wasn't
looked
a
like
good
a
Eyeball
look.
skeleton.
sunken
A
in,
skeleton, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edge.
Or that's another thing, meth. Like, I'm like, is Necro fucked up? Like, is he like on meth or crack or something? Like,
Well,
Now-
and now I'm
remember-
thinking about that.
BG man.
I'm sorry, but what, Brian? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying like now. He's obviously like it was clear that it was from being sick and not from drug use, just because of like his mass that he has now. You know what I mean? Unless he was doing drugs and stopped.
Yo,
but I
and
really,
you know what, Larry,
they-
you announced him, and he like pointed to you,
oh yeah.
and he might have keeled over. I thought he was gonna keel over and die right there in that moment. That was like, did you feel the? Because when I tell a person who doesn't watch wrestling, I'm like, hey, when wrestling's good, it's really, really good, but it's not often good. But like, even though Necro Butcher was so emaciated, it was like almost horrifying to watch. That intro and the whole like, I don't know, ritual of it all was so dope. Like the changing of the shirt, the announcing that you did of him, and he pointed to you and like gave you props. It's like a bunch of dudes, his life works,
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, that's what makes it good, even though it wasn't a good match, and it was actually horrifying to watch because it's really just like a dying man fighting his last weird thing. But like, I don't know, it's like important.
See, but now that's why you should watch these XPW shows, because it's like he's a rebirthed fucking
It's like
man.
his final run. It's like his final
but that's
chapter.
he's winded, but he's still fucking bleeding buckets, fucking doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it's
the
crazy.
thing about it is that Necro was chosen to be in that movie, The Wrestler.
Yep.
Right.
And like, who
Talked about that.
more appropriate to like be in that movie?
Larry, I was
than
there
the
that
fucking
night.
Wrestler, like,
I was
yeah.
at that CCW show that evening.
Yeah, it went on forever.
Oh, it was
We
terrible.
started the actual show at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
The
Darren
actual show that started
Aronofsky.
at 2.
Oh god.
It was disgusting.
The
crazy.
biggest regret I ever
And you know how
had.
much I made up that night, y'all?
How
How
much?
much?
$75. No, nothing from the wrestler. I found out other people got hit off. Not me.
Mm.
$75 and third from the bottom credit. CZW announcer, Larry Legend. That was what I got paid.
on the move. You're on the wrestler credits.
Yeah, third from the bottom. It goes, there's Kevin Foote, which they got wrong. It was actually Bobby Cruz, but they credit Kevin Kelly as the ROH announcer, but it's Bobby Cruz. They got Maven Bentley. Maybe it says Tyrone. His real name's Tyrone, but he's like XPW or WXW announcer, and CZW announcer Larry Legend. So that was all I got. $75 for doing that show, because that's what I was making at that time, 2008 or whenever we did that. $75 was my CZW fee.
Pretty good,
and
actually.
my name in the movie.
That's an Oscar award-winning movie, isn't it?
Oscar
Golden Globe.
nominated.
Golden
Oscar
Globe,
nominated.
Oscar
Golden Globe.
nominated. Yeah.
Or he might have won Best Actor.
Nominated.
I think he was nominated. Right? I think he was
Yeah, he was
nominated.
nominated.
Yeah.
He didn't win. He didn't win.
He didn't win. It was his whole
Christian
comeback.
Bale won. Christian Bale won for Batman.
Well,
Yeah.
fucking facts.
That's the greatest regret I have in my life, is that night they were selling Randy the Ram T-shirts for $25
Dude.
right there at
That's
the
something like a
concession. And I said, "What am I?
$500 t-shirt now.
I'm not gonna be a mark." Buy a Randy the Ram t-shirt.
Here, let me talk about that night announcing Necro. I've got to tell you, by that point in the show, I was very tired. Like
That's
we
right.
had done
Mystic
a lot of
River.
matches.
Shout out Mystic River.
Oh, they
Cleaned up
won?
the Oscars. Is that my daughter?
Oh,
Is that
right.
my daughter? So, yeah, Mystic River, great movie. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, Larry.
That I was very tired by that point in the show, and so
Was
tired
that was the main event? That was at the last match?
No, not at all. The main event was Loki versus Takeda.
Ah, true.
That was like there were still a lot of matches after that.
Mid card.
Yeah, but I was so tired that I couldn't even think. And I remember I went up to Danny and I'm like, yo, what the fuck do I call Necro? And he was like, I don't know, Godfather of Deathmatch Wrestling. And I was like, dude, fucking I'm going with it because I'm tired, and I didn't know what to call him, but I knew it was going to probably be one of the last times.
Right.
So I think he was pointing at me because I called him that, because no one had ever called him the Godfather of Deathmatch Wrestling. No one had ever called him that.
Oh, you're talking about the ICW show.
Yeah, January 4th.
Yeah, January 4th.
Pat, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep up, dude.
Yeah, well, you brought it up. You brought the whole shit up.
I didn't even remember that you said Godfather of Deathmatch Wrestling. That's amazing.
Danny told me. Again, just like Brett christening y'all the Blvd Bullies, I'm a real motherfucker. So that was some real shit. And we thought he was going to die. But at the time, I was so fucking tired. I was like, I don't even know what to fucking call him.
And you made him hype.
The Godfather of Deathmatch Wrestling. And he felt that. He felt that.
Well, I think you are the Godfather of some. How about announcing, the Godfather of announcing Larry Legend? Because I think myself, Pat, we get a lot of what we learn from you and what we see you do. So I think you should be known as the Godfather of ring announcing.
Kind of like James Brown was the Godfather of soul.
I look good. I smell good. And I make love good.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yes, now, I hope you guys are happy. People are commenting. I will not forget that Brett Lauderdale came up with the name. I hope you're happy, Larry.
Well, I mean,
it is what it is.
I'm Larry Legend.
So what else is going on? We talked about
that
original chains. What's going on in the current chains? Brian, you are you're kind of like our announcer.
We have boycotted
what?
The chains.
What?
Well, you're kind of like
what I'm going to say. All my words are going to be on the situation. I don't really know the full situation.
Oh boy.
And where Larry Legend is not,
we are not
be either.
What do you
I mean, Brian, you and I both have a vested interest in it because, I just released a new piece of merchandise.
Oh, now you're going to make me tight because you were so hype.
Yeah.
Me and you were both so hype on those shows.
Brian,
what shows are you talking about?
These UK shows, the
ICW, they just debuted last night. Oh, Cass's show debuts tonight, though.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Shout out to that. Yeah, that's tonight. But the UK shows, ICW just went on a very successful tour. The UK, Leeds, Northern Ireland.
Won't watch it.
The shows were not live, but they're going on right now. And it was a tour. It was an international tour. But I wasn't there, so.
So
you were announced. You were announced. You were fully announced for the tour.
I was the first. I was the first announcement. I was the first one announced.
So Brian, why are you upset, Brian? Now?
Why am I upset? Because Larry's presence was not in the UK.
Well, I'm saying this is what I mean about the vested interest. So Brian is one of the only people in the world that has one of the new shirts. And I haven't had a new shirt since 2014. I've been selling the same goddamn design since 2014.
It's about to go down.
But I was so excited. I was so excited to get over to the UK for the first time in my 20-year career that I got a whole new shirt printed. and that shirt has the ICW No Holds Barred logo with the Union Jack on the back of it.
Sick shit.
Brian,
It's an awesome
is lucky.
goddamn shirt.
Yeah,
I
it's
wore it on our
awesome.
show. I wore it on the show the next
That's
day.
right, yeah. But Brian's the only one who has one. He's the only one who has one. And those shirts, I got those shirts specially made for the UK tour because I was so excited. And I knew that the people over in the UK don't really get an opportunity to get the merch from us because of
They were excited too. I know they were.
Yeah.
So
But things fall apart, Pat. Things fall apart. And I wasn't on that tour. I wasn't
now
on that
Brian
tour.
is boycotting.
Yeah.
But, because even if there was a miscommunication between parties, like there should have been a positive reinforcement behind it, not just you know what I'm saying. Like
I know exactly what you're saying, Brian. This is what Brian is saying in a nutshell. Matt Tremont also didn't make the tour, and when
Right.
Matt Tremont was not on the tour, there was a graphic that came out that said not happening or not going or just some acknowledgement
Give us
that
an hour.
Tremont's not going to
Yeah,
be there.
roll with the punches.
Right? Yeah, give us an hour. John Wayne Murdoch's there. Okay. ICW knew that I was not going to be there, but there was like no mention of it, like canceled, hey guys, sorry. It was just like I don't exist.
Mhm.
It's like I don't
Nope.
exist.
Yeah, that's not cool.
But again, the vested interest that Brian has in it and that I have in it is that those shirts do exist. So I had every intention of being over there, being present, being who I am. But because things sometimes fall apart, I was not there. So,
Hmm.
and I will mention also that you're not the only one. Like I want to fully redact my statement that I made upon Ron Nemi, how he was a traitor to ICW, because now I feel that ICW might have been a traitor to Ron Nemi and pushed him out of the company,
Oh my God.
which is why he's no longer there.
Wow.
I mean, it's interesting you bring him up because, Ron became my friend through ICW No Holds Barred. And I didn't know him before then. And then once Ron was gone, because, again, I'm a real motherfucker, he's remained my friend.
Right.
So Ron as well has very much a vested interest in why Brian is boycotting ICW No Holds Barred. And Ron also has a vested interest in making sure that he was there for his friend.
Brian, I'm throwing up the X's too, dude.
When things fall apart. When things fall apart, Ron was there. And, I'm actually getting a little bit emotional right now, but he kind of talked to me about, like, the way things are and how he was made to feel in certain situations. And how, I have no reason to feel embarrassed, which is the most, like, I was angry at first, but mostly I was embarrassed because, like, I took all this time off from work. Some of us have real jobs, you know what I mean? And it's like...
You had plans. To be somewhere.
Exactly. And I was excited. Passport renewed, everything. Whole 9 yards.
Fucking ready, bro.
Yeah.
And you were worried that your passport wasn't even going to get to you in time.
Larry was ready.
I had all of the bases covered, but things just fell apart and I didn't make it. So, maybe it's time for, like, me to boycott ICW No Holds Barred.
Dude, and now you know what? And I'm going to say, not to mention again, my little friend right here, also not going to fucking UK because a little company, Rise, is working with a little company, ICW.
His little skateboard.
And the boy Slack is boycotting the company as well. So there's reasons for everything.
I don't think it's a boycott. I think it's just a miscommunication.
No, I mean, it's a miscommunication that he didn't know ICW was working with them, and now that they are, he's not going.
It's funny, like, why am I even trying to play devil's advocate? The guy hates me the most, so, like, why would I even try to, like, steer you guys off of this?
I'm gonna say, dude, it put a terrible taste in my mouth.
And Brian, you are a loyal customer. You are like a heavy hitter.
It sucks when
Did you ever get your card?
Dude, can I tell you a fucking funny? I got.
All
the
right,
card.
tell me the story. I'm going to pee. Goodbye.
Let's hear it.
I can't help it.
I don't have it.
I'm going to pee. Goodbye.
I have it here, bro. I got the card, right? I got your card. Beautiful, beautiful card. Beautiful signature. I think I have it. I don't have your card. I have it somewhere special. But I got this Brandon Kirk card. Do you see the signature?
Yeah, it looks horrible.
What is
I
that?
don't see.
On the
That's a
side.
signature?
Bro, it looks like they dropped it and he accidentally like scribbled on it. What is that?
Wow.
What is that? You know how
That's
much
a signature?
I paid good money for this card, by the way.
Are you
That's-
talking about that thing at the bottom that looks like
Yeah.
how when you would make
Yeah.
seagulls?
Yep,
When you would make seagulls?
Yeah, a little seagull.
Yep.
A
Yep.
little seagull.
Wow.
It looks like a little hat. It looks like a little hat, dude.
Dude, imagine if you put that up as the
I didn't
the
need
prize
I
for the
ended
night,
up-
the giveaway.
bro.
Wow.
I'm not a pot stir. I don't like to. I mean, it's just it puts it's like the little things, you know. It's the little
Yeah,
thing.
well, I mean, we all sacrifice. We all. Oh, guess what? I'm at 10% battery. I'm on my phone now. So I'm gonna have to go get my charger.
Yeah, go ahead, go. Do your thing. Do your
Just-
thing. We're
Yeah,
here.
yeah. But we all make sacrifices. And I've made a lot of personal sacrifices to be involved with a lot of different brands. But a continuous narrative throughout my entire career has been I don't stay places for too long. I really don't. I really don't. Now that I've done 20 years, I can look at like little chapters of legend, and they all begin and they all end. And then I just
The chapters
continue,
of Larry.
continue the
brother.
fucking legacy. So I'm over it now, you know, but I had to remind myself like how many other times things like this have like kind of like gotten funky, like, you know,
Yeah.
I was with GCW for a while. I was with CZW for a longer while, you know?
The
So
little things, brother.
yeah, it's like these are the breaks, you know?
Bring
Like
it up, bring it up, bring it up. Let's go.
I've
Straight
been
up.
there, done that, got the t-shirt. We did that shit. Did that
Mhm.
shit all over. And when it came time to go international, it's like, you know, maybe I'm not, you know.
I
That's it.
blame.
Grand opening, grand closing. That it's perfect. It's perfect. We did 40 of these shits in the US. And I'm the motherfucker. Now, y'all go. And I'll go. And we'll just both
It's very
go.
strange. It's still very. It's very strange to me.
So what's
I can't.
next
I
for
can't
Larry
wrap
then?
my mind around it.
What's next for Larry then?
I mean,
Where can we
Larry
find you this
Legend,
week?
like
Where can we find you this weekend, Larry?
NYWC Psycho Circus 20.
Hmm.
NYWC Psycho Circus 20.
Larry, you know what that says to me?
What?
That says to me that we need to go out to dinner on like Friday.
Patrick, you know my lifestyle. Patrick, you know my lifestyle.
Just
Okay.
get in
I
here.
found, I
Just
found,
get in.
I found out Larry's lifestyle the night of NFC, and it's
Yeah.
Larry's got
I
things
gotta
to do.
go.
and
I
You
gotta
gotta
go.
You
It
gotta
gotta
cost
go.
me a lot. It cost me a lot. And like any little extra of having a good time is like hundreds. Up to hundreds.
Yeah, you're a terrible.
And I'm
You're a
like,
terrible
well,
person.
I make just this much. You know, this weekend I make this much. Like, so, you know.
You know what?
I want, like-
Maybe I will go be in attendance for NYWC Psycho Circus because you know,
Tony
listen.
Nese will be in action.
Oh, the person who I inducted, you mean?
Yeah.
I'll
Hall
tell
of
you
Famer
this.
Tony Nese, he will be on site. I believe Mikey Whipwreck may be there.
You know, if Mikey's there, I'm gonna go. I actually thought to myself, Larry, I had like a dream that I should text Mikey and be like, "Hey, I know you're probably not gonna be there, but if you're there, I'd love to come and see you." Because this time last year, me and him were running the entire show.
Yeah. Well, it's his baby. NYWC is Mikey's ECW baby. You know, a lot of people don't know that. But that was what's next for Mikey Whipwreck after ECW? It's that little Long Island school company, NYWC.
Yep.
So he comes for the big one.
And you
And
know,
this
a
is their
great
taste of
school.
that.
Actually, if
Huh?
you think about it, like a very great school.
Oh,
You know,
God, yeah.
producing
Just,
a
you
lot
know,
of people.
I'm going to go get a charger. I'm
Go
going
ahead,
to get a
brother.
charger. Sorry.
How you feeling, Patrick?
Why do I feel like? Do I seem like I'm out of control here?
No. We steered the
No.
conversation in the right direction, and we're talking about shows. This Sunday, you could actually find me at the Ridgefield Park Mecca, as they now call it. I'll be with my PWJ guys at a PWJ table doing PWJ things at ETU Lightning in a Bottle. Show starts at
Larry's gonna
3,
be,
and
ring
Larry
announcing.
will be ring announcing as well.
You
Matt
know,
Cardone is on the show.
it doesn't matter now because you've made me so self-conscious about this episode that I'm just going to delete it as soon as we're done. Yep. As soon as we're done, delete.
Why?
I'm just
Well, you
going
can't
to
delete all
classify
legendary.
myself as obsolete and delete. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that me and Brian met up for beers at 4:30 and I
Uh-oh.
didn't
It was
have anything
delicious.
to eat.
You can't always. I'll get you something to eat.
I'm sorry that I had beers with Brian and now I'm having beers and having a good time with my friends.
There's nothing wrong. Everything's fine.
Could you guys stop asking me if I'm okay, please?
Just remember, never ask Pat if he's okay.
Just don't stop it, you know?
And don't text him, bro.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Today, Brian, Sean texted me. He goes, just one word, bro. And I had a panic attack, dude. I had a panic attack.
Bro.
I was like, what's wrong? What's happening? Tell me what's going on. The CUM thing is coming
Pat's
back.
mind went to the million worst things that could be.
The
coming-
CUM
Oh my God,
thing
what's
is coming
happening?
back to haunt me, dude. It's just like, oh,
That's
there's
so funny.
hey, there's like a lot of like good stuff going on. I like
Larry, I was actually just telling Pat and Brian that this Sunday you're actually going to be at Ridgefield Park Mecca with ETU Lightning in a Bottle. And I'll be there as well with my
Are you
PWJ
sucking?
guys.
Are you sucking some blood? Are you sucking some blood for some cards, Sean?
Well, I wanna keep that special,
He's got
special
the syringe.
announcement.
He's got
Not
the
syringes, not a blood card, but it's a dope card. And if you know, you know. So just stay tuned. If you're following PWJ, stay tuned.
So that
please.
means we're not special. We don't know.
I'll tell you guys, but not on camera.
Alright.
You jerk.
All right, Low Life Louie Jr. in the house.
What
Oh
up?
boy!
Special
What
question, special segment. Did you
Yeah,
guys watch
fucking-
H2O last
Dude,
Saturday?
I watched fucking Mickey Knuckles get that goddamn glass stuck in her leg. Oh, and I watched the doctor finger it out.
Oh, no, dude.
It was
Oh,
gross.
Yeah.
You guys
It
sent
was
me that. I
so
didn't even
brutal.
watch it. I
I sent it to
saw
you.
what
I'll
it
send it to
was,
you.
clicked away.
No,
Oh my
thank
God.
you.
Sawyer
I
Wreck,
actually,
honorable mention.
the first time I just watched the Shard of Glass, and then like days later, I watched the whole thing and saw the finger in there. That was the grossest part to me.
Did you see it happen? Did you see what happened?
No, but so everybody knows I'm a man about the town.
Right.
So yes, I will be at ETU as well on Sunday. But I had a ringside photographer, Ami Morgor. You know
Mhm.
Morgor. She messaged me
One of the best.
from ringside.
One of my favorites
flew
of
the
all
kite.
time.
Yeah, she flew the kite that Mickey's been hurt. She said, Mickey's been hurt. She said Mickey got fucked up, chipped tooth, and huge gash in her thigh, perhaps torn artery.
Holy fuck.
Dude, did you see the size of the glass? It's like this big, dude.
Oh, so that video you
It's
sent was of
amazing
her
that
leg?
That doesn't happen more. Isn't it amazing that doesn't happen more often?
It's weird, but if you see what happens, it's like it's obviously an accident. She jabs it into herself.
Oh,
She hits. It's like she goes to hit
oh.
someone, and then the broken end goes into her fucking leg, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so shitty.
Yo, and even Cass,
It's
like
so
when me
shitty.
and Cass would like hang out, he'd be popping a pimple like behind his neck, and a piece of glass would come out, dude.
Oh, that's insane. I
Like
believe it
a
though.
little cube of glass.
Dude, I feel like if you have that, are you just like in like infinite pain if you just have a piece of glass in your skin, or you just don't feel it?
The worst thing has got to be the shower.
Ooh,
Like
after?
right after the immediate shower has got to be like
I
endless.
feel like the shower the day after got to be even worse because you have some kind of adrenaline when you do the first shower.
Larry, you've been smashed with tubes on the back. What's the next day shower like?
So never tubes. Never got tubes.
Oh, you got
I
the
got a
barbed wire,
I got
though.
a barbed wire board.
That could be potentially worse.
The barbed wire board was terrible.
Ugh.
But I just want to let you guys know that after AR Fox's first Cage of Death, I stayed with him and his girlfriend, and I heard the way he sounded in the shower.
Yeah, I'll never forget.
Yo, I can
sharing a room
imagine.
with Cass.
So I'm like,
The first time I went to the Chains was the Atlantic City drive-in, and we shared a room with Cass. And I remember him showering and just screaming.
Yeah.
While he's just hearing screams.
Yeah.
Dude.
And like in both cases, like, you know, these are people we care about greatly. We've just seen them do this great thing, but now the real pain comes when you gotta brush all that shit off and get it off you. I had a partner after the Joe Gacy barbed wire board incident, and I lie to you not, my partner cleaning me up when I got home made it feel really okay.
Erotic.
It wasn't that bad because it's like, you know, with your mom, you know what I mean? When your mom, you know, and like your mom cleans it up, and it's like, wow.
Well, because you also feel like badass.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
warrior.
it. Yeah, I guess that's probably was part of it. But no, it wasn't that bad. The worst was laying in the barbed wire after he DVD'd me in it. It was laying in it, like.
Oh man. Did you see that Effie spot?
I was just gonna say that the Jimmy Lloyd birthday party. You know, I just want to say.
What was it?
I just want to say before we get into the Jimmy Lloyd.
It was GCW VXS in Vegas, and it was Jimmy Lloyd's 25th birthday party.
Just stop it right now. Shut up.
He asked me. He asked
the hell up.
He asked for
because the most important thing that anybody watching this far in, an hour and a half into this show, and each one of you needs to know, is that the first Jimmy Lloyd birthday party ever was hosted by the Blvd Bullies.
Is that where he gets
and
the
second compound, the short-lived compound?
At the compound, yes.
I think I have a trading card with Jimmy Lloyd on
and
it. I getting a lap dance
ate a
from
handful of vodka, scummy Skittles.
I remember this.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, but I remember this.
What
videos?
What an absolute trip. Go watch that YouTube video. Just click Blvd Bullies. You got to scroll all the way down. Jimmy Lloyd's 21st birthday party. And then guess what? The next birthday party in Atlantic City, Blvd Bullies hosted that party as well.
Well, let me tell you something, my son. You were amongst like folk, because last year's Jimmy Lloyd's birthday party, the 24th, hosted by yours truly, Larry Legend, the Kevin Hogan Memorial Hall.
Wow. I mean, to me,
the rest of the Bullies got to catch up. You guys got to host a few Jimmy Lloyd birthday parties.
Oh my God! But no, it's not even his birthday party anymore. He has like new music. He's like a man now. But
dude,
I don't know if you saw that.
They used Little Peep's music to open the show.
Well, did you see that video? They used Blvd Bullies' first
and
second birthday party footage.
So we built a legacy.
Dude.
We've helped these companies build a legacy for Jimmy Lloyd.
You know, and listen, Larry, I'm not gonna.
I'll hang my fucking hat on that.
I don't want to say anything crazy. I don't want to say anything crazy, Larry.
Cheers,
Larry. I was saying, like, if you had to pinpoint one human being living on Earth more than everybody else who really cared and promoted the Jimmy Lloyd entrance music, if you had to rank the people who did that, you gotta rank me, PK from the Blvd Bullies, number one. You're fucking with a different boy. But
you know who's right there with you, and you're not gonna like.
I don't like this. I already don't like this, Larry.
Right up there. You know who's right with you.
Don't even say the name.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
You know what?
You don't speak the name here.
Don't even speak it.
Okay. All right. Okay. We won't. But he's a fellow Sagittarius like Sean and myself.
Well.
That's all I'll say. fellow Sag, like the rest of us in the guild, if you will. But there's somebody else who really reps that Jimmy Lloyd song for real, and I do too.
Okay.
And I do too.
Because I
Back to
taught,
the point.
because I showed the
damn it.
way. Because
Hey.
I was brave enough to follow Buka
You
Man.
know who else is? You know who else has a song that they hope they never change is Jordan Oliver. I hope Jordan Oliver rides that fucking song all the way through to his WWE contract.
What is his song? I don't even know his song.
Young Dumb, Young Dumb, Young Dumb, and bro, it starts with the words that are like all like reversed, or like dude, it's awesome. It gives me, if your theme music can give me goosebumps like while I'm waiting for you, you pick the right theme.
Yeah.
I feel that 100%.
Yeah. And I love Jordan Oliver. I love listening to his theme. I love listening to Jimmy Lloyd's. I love Casanova's. If you don't know, that's my guilty pleasure. I like to
That
not
song makes me
announce
high.
Casanova too soon so I can listen to the song more.
Sick.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, yeah. G Raver. Hey, I like G Raver.
man.
G Raver's that thing that.
Dude, do you know what that's from?
Huh?
That's the theme song from a Serbian film.
How'd you find that out?
I know. It's it's
Brian
one of the
loves
better
those type of
it's
movies.
a horror fucking movie. I love horror movies.
It's a disgusting. I've only watched it once.
Fucked up movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie that you
Raver
told me
using
about?
that as his theme song is legendary, and I miss the boy.
Stop it, Brian.
I'm sorry.
Just stop
God
it.
damn it. I'm sorry that he had a big accident and had to do and didn't have to do, but he started to do hard drugs and became sick man.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
his life was bad. His life was not good.
Yeah, he had a bad story. He's bad break. Bad, you know?
Yeah.
Dude,
He was fucking awesome, dude.
my first night in CZW, John Zandig looked me up and down and he said, "Are you sure you want to get involved in this shit?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I do." And then he just looked me up and down some more and he walked away and shook his head.
Because he knew.
The muckety muck. He knew Brain Damage was going to die. He knew Danny Havoc was going to die. He knew that all these guys that I was around, that I was going to make relationships with, didn't have too bright a futures.
Facts.
Yeah, but that's like kind of like really sad and evil in its own way, isn't it?
It's not evil because it's done by their own doing.
No, but
He gave me a fair warning. He gave me a fair warning. He said,
exactly.
Are you sure you want to get involved in all this shit?
But you know, we're talking about, I don't know.
I was with Ruckus, you know, so I want to get high. That's the shit.
I mean, honestly, I think the best thing that you could do within the last, like, you know, is what you said. Like, you broke in as Ruckus's personal ring announcer. So the best thing you could do is have like a wrestler who's on the rise, like, trusts you as like either a journalist or as a ring announcer or a manager. Like, that's really your best chance, I think, right now. Because just to get into the business, try to show your value as an independent contractor, a videographer, or whatever the hell, you know, it's only a matter of time before they're going to, like, shit on you and tell you that you suck and, like, you know.
You need an in. You always need an in.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me, you know. And listen, it's been a long show. You guys have asked me if I'm all right plenty of times. And the answer is, honestly,
because I didn't get
no. You know, the answer is no.
I can only watch you from Sean's TV.
The answer is no.
I can only watch you from Sean's monitor, so
do I look like I'm asleep through Sean's monitor?
I can hardly see you.
Well, I am asleep.
All we see is the Blvd Bullies Pro Haters logo here.
Good, you goddamn should. What else is going on in the wrestling world? What else
you
do
had
we
a
have?
format. What are we supposed to go move on to now?
Sawyer Wreck was the winner of
Thank you, Brian.
the Tremont
on target.
My phone's long dead, so the format's long gone.
Sawyer Wreck won. She deserves it. I think she's also awesome. She crushes
Did you see the infamous segment? I'm going to call it a segment because I think it was so well done and I love it so much. What's in the box? Open the box. Open the box. Open the box.
What's that?
The Koger shit?
Brian, can you explain it in detail to Larry and Sean, please? I love
Basically,
it.
They were cutting a pro. It was like during the celebration.
It was like the title celebration. It was like, here's the trophy. You're the best.
The coronation, if you will.
Coronation,
If
right?
you will.
Okay.
All of us, this little box that's been there for this the whole time starts speaking. Open the box. Open the box.
Open
This
the
is an
box
H2O?
over the PA.
This is H2O. This is H2O.
They
And
bribed the sound guy as well.
right, and then they open the box, and what do you think it is?
A hand.
No.
Gwyneth
Skewers.
Paltrow's head.
Skewers.
True said.
It's
was-
the yellow goddamn skewers.
So that's Atticus, right?
Right. Atticus.
So Atticus
Making
has
a
settled
stake.
on yellow as his primary now. He's a yellow guy.
They went from green to yellow, little scared.
All 4
yellow
four
belly
is
boys.
yellow.
Yes, that's their new fly colors. They're flying yellow.
So wow, the boy
Ever
was.
since Bev won the tournament, they've been yellow, huh?
I think ever since that Atticus did that color ladder, you know, the ladders were different colors.
Yep.
I think ever since his ladder was yellow, he was wearing yellow, and they made 440 yellow.
So the guy Atticus.
Because Ricky Shane, they turned like Ricky Shane. That was like when Ricky Shane turned on, like they did
Yeah.
the shit. So they changed it. The
So
guy.
this weekend, Atticus has something at H2O. He has the skewers pop up with his voice,
He was
his
coast to coast
PA,
on a bitch.
He was
Skewers
coast to
pop
coast.
up.
coast to
Coast to
coast.
coast on a bitch, yep.
And then he
He's
gets.
got one leg over here. He's got a wide ass.
It's like a food truck. He's got
and
a
then
skewers
Homeboy gets
pop up.
challenged
Is that
by
not
Drake
sick?
Yellow. And
Dude,
Drake
it's
Yellow
awesome.
challenged
I
him.
used to say when I was a kid, if I could turn on HBO and Independence Day is on starring Will Smith,
My
and then I
shit.
can turn on the TBS and an old episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is on. I used to say, yo, that motherfucker made it. That's
Facts.
when I was a kid, I used to say that. This motherfucker is an indie wrestling.
I think it's a little bit different, Larry. I think it's
Well,
a
Dude, it's very similar, bro. Who's done it before?
Rick Rude.
Rick
Yeah,
Rude.
Rick Rude is
Okay,
one.
that's a good fucking
That's
comparison.
a good one. Yeah, it's like magical. It's like, dude, you're. I
That's
can see
superstar
you.
shit.
See
It's
you know what I
superstar
mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I will applaud
Not
the
many can pull it off.
I will applaud the entrepreneurial aspect of that.
Genius shit. It's genius shit.
you know what? There was one night I did it. There was one
Really?
night I.
You had
I
you had your
guarantee you-
voice.
You like got in the
I
car and
guarantee
drove
you-
to another thing.
Nope. Second night. Okay, now it all was on IWTV, but night 2 of ICW San Antonio, the ball, the fucking gate, the LBG, the ball. What's it
What?
called? I'm sorry, y'all. Pro wrestling. Paris is bumping. Paris
Right.
is bumping. That premiered night 2 of No Holds Barred. So if you were watching IWTV, you could watch 2 things that were mid.
That's dope.
I'm Will Smith.
Only legendary
Yep.
people have done it. Is what we're getting at.
There you go.
And
Yep.
Atticus Cogar, I know Patrick will voice his hatred.
Oh,
You don't
what
like
a-
Addy?
Nope.
Nah,
like that?
yeah, hey.
He's 47-year-old Patrick.
Pat
understand.
hate Addy? I like him. I like the
Yo,
Bench
you know,
brothers.
I'm more of an Otis guy.
I like them
Otis
both,
is awesome.
bro. I like both of them together.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm
they're
more
both
of
good,
an
man.
Otis guy, you know. And
I-
I'm just,
you don't
I'm
like
just,
Addis because you don't like Addis because he's
shout out
pretty.
Otis.
yeah,
fan
he's
of
too
Bullies.
pretty for me, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just too pretty for me.
I've shipped Otis a few
is?
shirts. He buys the shirts and I like him a lot.
And then, you know, like Schlack is a friend. Like
Schlack, dude.
Schlack, I
Did you-
love.
did
And then he came
anybody
out
watch
and he had to
this, man?
shoot on Slack in a way that I didn't appreciate, you know.
He
Dude,
shot
that
on
promo
Slack?
was so good.
Who did?
He came
Atticus-
out. He
Oh.
joined XPW MAGA.
He told him
And
that
then he
should
goes like,
focus
"Oh,
on-
hey, Schlack, if you care so much about social media, why don't you keep posting on Twitter, trying to pretend you're not a Nazi?"
He said it. He said it, and
He
it made
said
me
it.
hype.
He went there, Larry, and that's why
And
I don't
Schlack
like.
came out tight. Schlack came out like,
And that's why I don't like Atticus, because Atticus just goes there. Like that's his
yeah,
thing.
that's what you were
He
supposed
just
to do,
goes
man.
there, and it's like
Good.
you know what? Any guy who reads Reddit could go there. You know how many stuff
No, you know,
You know
who
how many
else used
things
to go there? The Dudley
Sean sends
Boys.
me from Reddit that I would have never seen. You know, so it's like, yeah, like Atticus Cogar is just a Reddit deathmatch wrestler.
He's awesome.
Wow, I didn't know Addy said that.
Yeah, he went
Damn.
to Reddit with it for me.
Made me hype.
Damn,
Made me
son.
hype.
I mean, when
Chose
you
death.
take it there, it makes me hype. Listen,
That's what I'm saying.
if I say bad words, will we get kicked off?
I mean, it's
No.
been pretty
Oh.
bad so far.
Don't take my advice.
Eddie Kingston one time in the CZW arena called me a Muslim-looking faggot.
Oh no,
Who was
Larry!
that? Who was that?
I didn't know it was gonna be a big time F.
Yay!
Brian loves it.
Brian,
You
do
made
that
Brian
again.
excited.
He needed the microphone, and I'm like, I'm in the back
I'm
doing
already
whatever.
typing up my. I'm already typing up my defense to YouTube right now.
Dude, this is. I mean, you probably. I'm sure they edited it out of the cage of
different.
death.
I think it's different if he's quoting somebody.
Yeah, I'm not
I think
calling
he's
anyone.
quoting
This is
somebody.
what
I
I
think
was
it is.
called.
I don't
And
think
I
it is.
quote.
Right? Yeah. And I quote disclaimer. I don't condone any.
Allegedly, and I quote.
The point that I'm trying to make is that it got such a reaction that he did that, and I know him. I know Eddie. I know he doesn't have anything against me or against Muslims or against the LGBT community. But the fact that he took it there in the moment and the reaction that it got out of the crowd, it got me hyped.
Oh,
and I was
love
like,
that.
I was like, oh shit, here, take it, you know? And like the crowd like reacted to that. So I get that. I get like that sort of like, it got
horrible.
me
Absolute.
hyped. Yeah.
I love
Absolute
that shit.
disaster. Absolute.
I fucking love that shit.
unmitigated disaster.
Oh, come on. We're all canceled.
Brian went, yay!
Yeah, dude, do you hear what I said? He called me.
It's
Yeah,
what
no,
he's
that's
been
wild.
fighting for. It's the kind of language Brian's been fighting for.
Yeah,
I
2300 arena. And guess what?
What year was that?
The match was it was Eddie and Drake. For a short period of time, Eddie and Drake were like trying to be the tag team champions.
That's so fucking dope.
Yeah, and I forget who they even fought. I think it was the best around, you know, TJ Cannon and Picture Perfect Bruce Maxwell. It may have been them. They were going for the belts.
It was CZW?
CZW, and it was a cage of death.
Oh,
So Eddie,
so fucking dope.
yeah, Eddie and Drake were both there, but they weren't like at the top of the card. They weren't fighting for the belt. They were kind of in the tag team sort of hustle. And they had just lost the match or got counted out or something, and Eddie had something to say. And I wasn't where I needed to be. I'm pretty sure I remember this correctly. I wasn't where I needed to be. I finally got the mic down to him, and he grabs it, and he goes, "Give me that, you Muslim-looking faggot." Like, oh, Billy. Oh, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm like, and then yo. Isn't this a nice segue into the Eddie J. White? Aren't we doing that?
I feel like we should
Yeah,
talk
I
about
mean-
that. Yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling like.
Yeah, let's talk about Eddie.
Yo, is Eddie just in this world where he really, really doesn't care anymore? And he's just like, you know, he sat down for that press conference. He's like, oh, do you like me? I'm not liked. Nobody likes me in AEW. Fuck
I
this.
think AEW, the whole AEW as a whole, is in a very sad place.
He's like tweeting so horribly about them. And then he just sits down at the Jay White thing and just like says all this passive aggressive shit. Larry, you worked with him. You worked with him when he had the pleather Puerto Rican pants.
Yeah.
Word, with the big flag on the side.
Yo, and you know what? I hate to say this, but Larry, back then, I didn't have any respect for Eddie Kingston. And those CZW back in the parking lot where we used to smoke blunts promos, I didn't really love those either. But, like, he kind of captured me when Brian yelled at him and called him fat. And then he told Brian that he would thumb his eye out. And then that lit a fire under Eddie King's ass to call out Cody Rhodes, slap his chest. The mist comes off his chest. Cody Rhodes watches everything.
Man.
Cody Rhodes says, you know what? I want this guy in the company. And then,
He's a grown man.
Yeah, and he's a grown-ass man. And, you know, Brian basically sparked Eddie Kingston's AEW career. But now Eddie Kingston, without Brian there ringside, is self-destructing.
Yep.
Facts.
He's Eddie's like ACH. They live together. You know?
He talks so good, too.
Heat magnet. Walking heat magnet. anytime that I've worked with either one of them, there's been some sort of like, we don't like this guy, or like everyone's like against them or something.
Well, he talks mad shit. I don't know if
He's got a very big mouth.
He's always
yeah.
he's just tweeted crazy shit from the beginning.
He has
I don't
been
know if it's like a work
drinking
or not, but
probably
he's
Jack
like
Daniels and tweeting.
Well, you know something? Now that you say that about a big mouth, you know, Eddie, NACH, like I just mentioned, and you, Pat, and you, Sean, we're all Sagittariuses. Are we outspoken?
I think a bit.
Yeah, to a fault for me. I never.
I'm a little quiet Aries.
Sean like trained himself to like, and you too, Larry, to hone it into a positive way. But like, you know, I've failed in that regard for sure.
I think I hold it into a certain extent, and then once I do burst, it's like, all right, now you're getting full centaur, motherfucker.
Larry, is that what happens in the birth cycle in the stars? Like that we hold it until we can't relinquish any longer and explode?
Dude, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm onto some things, some patterns, some things that kind of all add up. When I just mentioned all of those names,
I can't think about it. It makes me confused.
It's quite confusing. It's quite confusing.
I can't even think about that shit.
Let's more about Eddie. Did you see everyone called him a liar? Because he at the interview during the scrum.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, Pat? At the scrum, he was talking about how he stabbed.
I never wanted the Fed.
On 132nd Street.
So he's like
That's 232. 232 Street.
Well, like what? Yeah. Where in the Bronx is that?
It's wrestling though. Everything doesn't have to be.
No,
facts.
he's from like over the the Hudson or whatever. You know.
It's like, dude, it's the same thing as MJF saying that he fucking did that shit, and then everybody called the cops. Like everybody.
That was a pro. So listen. That was a promo, and now we're in this era of like media scrum. It's like, oh, what are we gonna get the media scrum? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you real? Like Edge was talking very much like, I'm a celebrity, and you know, like, and then you got someone like Punk, like Punk, prime example. Are you seeing Punk right now, or are you Phil Brooks? Like,
right.
You know, so.
Like Austin Theory was heavily in character during his.
His shit sucked. Yo,
but
Austin Theory overrated.
It's funny to see how the wrestlers do their press conferences.
In ring, Austin Theory is amazing. Like that match with Edge is like my match of the month, maybe even. But his press conferences and his like little commentary things. He's not there yet for me. Nah.
Who even is he? What even is he? What is what is his character?
He's the now. He's the anti-Cena.
A-Town. I guess he's from Atlanta, so that's like he represents his city. I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's from Atlanta. He was trained by AR Fox.
I don't know. I guess I don't. I don't like it.
Did you guys watch the AR Fox Top Flight versus Young Bucks Kenny Omega basketball match?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Larry and I, we were speaking during that match, and we were saying how cool it is to see AR Fox doing his thing on TV. And now, like, watching it back and then hearing also Undertaker on Tyson's podcast talking about the way the Bucks work, it was the exact same thing. And it kind of sucks when you have guys on
What did
TV
the Undertaker say?
Yeah, what did the Undertaker say? I want to know this.
So
what did the Undertaker say?
What did the Undertaker say?
I've watched their stuff, and their stuff is very repetitive. And if you watch week to week, you see that they're delivering the same moves consecutively at the same time, and it just gets stacked and boring. And it's not something that you keep up with and you're enjoying. And then you have somebody like AR Fox, Dante Martin, Top Flight.
Those are names that Undertaker said?
No. He didn't say that about them. He said that about the Bucks. And then it brings me to think about this match that Pat just mentioned. And it's like you have guys like AR Fox who've been fighting for so long to finally have that TV time where they're putting it on a national platform. But then you guys have them going up against guys like the Bucks and Kenny Omega, who are clearly going to go over and win because that's what that company's just been doing. I want to see them work more. I don't want to see the Bucks and Kenny just doing the same things that they were doing when the company started. You have these good guys there. Let them get some burn and some run.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
do you think about them having a match with a basketball is what I really wanted to ask you.
It's outrageous.
They really had a match with a basketball?
No, it was.
They
It was-
started,
it was-
Larry, I gotta tell you this, Larry. They started with a fucking jump ball, and the referee threw the ball up in the air. Dante Morton jumped for it, and like Nick Jackson inverted atomic dropped him as he came down.
Wait a minute. Sean, the match that we were...
I know,
Yeah,
it's
I
hard
don't
to
remember
accept, I
watching.
know.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
That match started the way Pat's describing it?
No, no. I don't
Yes,
know.
100%. 100%, dude.
This is Dynamite we're talking about?
Dude, it was
No, it didn't.
Rampage. It was
I saw the
Rampage.
shit in the backstage area with them and balls. They were like
I'm
bouncing
telling
balls
you,
and talking about
I
How
don't
hitting
think
balls.
dare
Pat's
you
making this up. I don't think
question
Pat's
me.
making this up.
How dare you?
Pat
question me?
saying they started the match with a full court press.
Dude,
On
I'll tell you
Rampage.
right now. If I had thought of this idea, I'd be so
That's
proud
called
of it.
basketball.
But instead, I watched it, so I said, "This
I
is
love that
stupid."
movie.
You know. But if I had thought of it, I'd be like, "I'm a genius." But yeah, so it was like TNT All-Star Weekend trios match, Rampage at like a special time.
Right,
7
they
o'clock,
started at
yeah.
7. They
Right.
started at 7.
And it was a trios match between AR Fox and the fucking Top Flight and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Top
And it
Flight.
started with the referee throwing a basketball in
You know
the
what?
air.
And Larry, you know what? I believe Pat even more because I told you were on TV and you told me you're watching it and didn't see yourself.
You were
And
already
I
on
started
TV,
the
dude.
special-
I think he might be throwing the truth too because I joined that episode in progress. I missed
Right.
the rematch.
And I'm telling
the first
you,
one on Dynamite I saw.
The Dante Martin jumped up for the ball, and Nick Jackson, the black-haired one, inverted
Matt
atomic
Jackson.
dropped him as he came down with the ball. And then there was like a spot, and they ran the ropes up and over, do-si-do, and they fucking threw the balls at each other. They were throwing basketballs at each other throughout
We're
this
gonna
match.
see because I pulled the match up right now on the good old iPad.
Please.
Yeah. Does it start that way?
No.
It does, dude. I've seen it. I've done my research.
Now, Pat, I do remember a promo in the backstage area where like
They were
AR
all
Fox
holding
got-
balls.
They had a
Yeah.
basketball.
Dude,
You
that
know what?
It's
I'm
so
gonna say
lame.
this though.
Dude, it's so
Pat
lame.
can be right because the match is called the NBA All-Star Slam Dunk Match.
There's
And
no
here
way they
is-
didn't start it with a fucking.
They
ref
started it
throwing
with a
ball
jump
in
ball and an
A
inverted
football.
atomic
Nah,
drop.
this is wild. This is wild. This is like,
the air.
you remember when they had basketball on Spike TV after wrestling and they were jumping on the trampolines? This is that. Dante Martin just did like a flip off the top rope with a basketball
Yeah,
in his
that's
hand
what I'm trying to tell you, dude.
and threw it. This is not the match that we saw, Larry.
It's
There were
Rampage.
two matches. There was the Dynamite match, and then they had a Rampage match. I didn't see the Rampage
They
match.
had
Yeah, we
I
didn't
Rampage
see this.
basketball
Pat-
extravaganza.
Strictly been talking about Rampage. He said Rampage. I'm in Pat's defense here.
Well, listen, Pat, you're right. It was an NBA All-Star Slam
Yeah.
Dunk match with the Trio Championship on the line.
Right.
And
It
there
was
were
the worst shit
basketballs
I've
here.
ever seen in my entire life. And Larry, you're
AEW
right too.
sucks, dude.
Because, you know,
And
on,
they
on,
had NBA All-Star jerseys.
on Dynamite, you're right. Like, so it was a promo with the Young Bucks talking to the camera, held by Brandon Cutler. And
They all
they're-
had balls
they're
in
just
their hand.
inexplicably holding basketballs. Like, and you know, and listen, the Young Bucks, if you want me to believe that they can throw super kicks and be like awesome wrestlers,
Look at the ball. Look at the
there
ball.
it is.
yeah,
Look at the
exactly. Dude, look at the ball.
Dude.
So that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
cannot wait to hear. I cannot wait to hear Cornette.
so,
my God.
so if you want to tell me that the Young Bucks are good wrestlers because they have educated feet and nice sneakers, I can almost believe that, right? But when they're holding basketballs and pretending to be basketball players, that makes me utterly fucking sick.
Is it
And,
not the same as like a Mountain Dew black and white, black and neon match?
and Larry, for that promo that you're talking about, the Young Bucks were holding two basketballs, and then AR Fox and Top Flight. They walked in, and they were holding basketballs already.
So the match did start with.
Hell
A
yeah,
tip-off.
dude. Yes.
Yo, you have to see this. This is wild.
By the way, side note, the top
It's gone.
Wait,
It's gone.
It's gone. Hold
the
on.
top super chat right now is $5 for the Matt Tremont card. If you want to get in and throw a $6 or anything like that, we're gonna split the money with Larry
Well,
Legend.
they had a tip-off.
Yo, dude,
Y'all
show it
ready for
again.
this?
Show it again, please.
Y'all ready for this?
Yo, I told you. I told you. How dare you?
Oh, so it was.
Wait, play it. Can you play it?
Skins. It was shirts
It's
and
just
skins.
it's just pictures.
Well, what happened after that was an inverted atomic drop, and each one of you owe me an apology.
I'm sorry, Pat. I'm sorry. I apologize, Pat.
Wow, that was much easier than I thought.
missed the match. By the time I turned it on, it was Garcia and someone. Garcia was fighting when I turned it on.
Okay, so I want to go around the table, lightning round. I want you to tell me the person that you would release from AEW, who's the worst, and I want you to tell me who needs more time and attention. First, Sean.
I think Keith Lee needs to get released. I think.
Oh, the gray hair, the TV dad.
Gray hair Dr. Hibbert needs to get released. I think
Frazier.
Frazier, yeah, whatever he is, he needs to get released. I think he needs to wake up, remember where he once was, remember what he was doing, and be inspired by the future, because he's been stagnant and doing absolutely nothing. And it's a utter shame to see the once great Keith Lee not be utilized the right way.
I agree with you. All right, so who release and push? Who's your push?
My push would be for the Guns, as they're getting right now. I think they're very talented. I think they're funny. I think that they'll be good title holders.
I love it. I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
Brian, release and push. AEW.
I'm going to go ahead and I agree with Sean. I'm going to say that good old Uncle Phil has to get released. And
who the fuck is Uncle Phil?
Uncle Phil is Keith Lee. Carl Winslow. Sorry.
No, what was the dad's name in Family Matters?
Gay TV dads of black shows.
Oh my God!
What was it?
You made the goddamn post. I'm sorry, I said Uncle Phil and not Carl Winslow, but you made the damn post.
Carl Winslow was the dad in Family Matters.
They both were heavy set black guys that were like dad-like. So yeah, Carl Winslow and Uncle Phil.
Yo, it's not on me. It's Brian for confusing Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow, dude. It's not on me.
Whatever. They're both similar, and they're both Keith Lee, and he should be released.
Wow.
And also, I think that I'm going to go with my heart and my goth brethren, and that the House of Black should be pushed.
Here we go.
Oh, Jesus
Sorry.
Christ.
Here we go.
I'm a House of Black boy. I like Brody King. I like I like Alex Black. Malachi Black, I'm sorry. I like him.
All right, Larry, go. You go. Push and release. It's like fishing, dude.
I'm releasing Miro. Because did anyone even realize his ass was still around?
Yeah, his drunk
that's
wife went on podcasts trying to get a job at WWE.
Yeah, get Miro's ass out of my face. And bro, I'm pushing Hobbs, dude. I saw that guy at the beginning. Dude, I saw him at the beginning, and I was like, he's gonna be big.
The Book of
He was gonna be a big
Hobbs.
deal.
Written and directed by GC. The Book of Hobbs.
Dude, that's the worst shit ever. I'm like, he's drowning with this shit.
Yo, I got.
Dude.
Okay, so Larry.
The book, like, dude, that shit is.
And he comes out, and that's the
Hobbs is
worst
also
part.
about Brian
He comes
Cage
out
West.
with the book. He comes out with the book. Yo, and Larry, I'm gonna take you for a walk here. So you know, he like the Hobbs things. They always start with like the worst shit that could ever happen to a person. It's like, when I was 3 years old, my house burned down. You know, right? Like, my brother died when I was 6. You know, and it's always like the worst shit, right?
Yeah.
So it makes me think of Anchorman when Ron Burgundy and Jack Black run into each other, and it's like,
Kicks the dog off.
that bike is the only thing I have in my life. I got an apple for my birthday.
That's how I
Hell
roll.
yeah. Just the
So,
worst downward spiral
so
is the
every
beginning
time
of it, and that
Hobbs,
makes it humorous.
Hobbs,
It's not supposed to be funny.
my mom had AIDS. Every time that
Yeah.
Hobbs,
I got a dog.
yeah,
You got ran over.
my
Like,
dog
Name
got
is
run over.
Bingo.
Every time Hobbs says something, I think I got an apple for my birthday.
I got an apple for my birthday.
so yeah, I'm getting rid of Miro. I'm pushing Hobbs.
All right. Well, you know what?
Oh, you.
I don't even know. I didn't even think about it. I'm just asking the questions, dude.
You got to answer too, Pat.
Huh?
Is that Jericho's buddy still there with the bald head, the doctor or something? Whatever
Oh my God!
his name
Yeah.
is?
Well, of course.
Oh, he's the SAT.
Well, that's an
He's
easy
the-
one. That's an easy one.
Dr.
No, yeah,
Luke.
yeah.
name?
Fire SAP, push SAT. That's my answer. Nice and easy.
Woo.
Yeah.
Is
I fuck with
SAT
that.
on yet though, Pat?
Nope.
No, and you know what? I mean, I don't know. I
Don't mention.
really, you'd think that maybe they said and did this thing to maybe do a little business, but it turns out no, it's just ignorance. It's just pure ignorance. Silly.
And dude, and oh my God, and Larry, and you said that you saw them even like talking to each other.
Yeah, I mean it's not really a
So
story
weird.
like that I want to put out there like, hey, this is what happened, but I was at Jay Briscoe's memorial service, and before things got underway, there was kind of like, a gathering, convocation style, and all of that. And
Bunch
TK
of
approached the
penis
SATs, and he approached them, and he said, hey, if you guys ever would want to come in and do any extra work, we think it'd be really funny if
No,
we
come
we had you
on.
as the. I swear to, I mean, I have no reason to lie.
Holy shit.
Extra work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since that moment, they have not been seen or heard from on AWTV.
God damn.
SAP?
SAT.
Wait, what exactly? Tell me. Say that again exactly, please.
Oh my God, dude, I don't.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Larry, would you please paraphrase that to the best of your ability once again for us?
I was greeting the SATs, and Tony Khan interrupted us, and he leaned into the SATs, and he said, hey, if you guys would ever be willing to come in and do some extra work, we think it would be really funny if we had you as the SATs and you were actually the Spanish announce team. Like if you filled in for our
Larry,
Spanish
I can't
announce
believe
team.
that. I can't believe. I am not. I'm choosing not to believe that, Larry.
Hey,
I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to gossip. It's not really like
Larry, you
the
understand that
reason
you've just.
it's not the reason that we were gathered. Was not the reason that we were gathered.
come
But yeah, that I
come
observed that
on.
interaction.
You understand? You
And the most
understand what's
shocking thing to
happening?
me,
The
most
snowman
shocking
says
thing to me-
crazy things.
Yo,
the most
you know
shocking
what?
thing to me about this entire thing was I wasn't even aware that Tony Khan was there. Like I was greeting the SATs, I wasn't like looking around for people, and all of a sudden I look to my side and Tony Khan is standing right there, and I'm like, whoa, this is wild. Like Tony Khan.
You understand?
But,
You've
it
ruined us.
It was a memorial. It was a memorial service. So
You've ruined
it
us
turned
with
out-
this knowledge. This breaking news. You've ruined us. Now everyone's gonna watch this, Larry.
oh God, I'm sorry.
I think it's meant to be watched.
you asked, he told.
Oh my God, Larry, this is
Yeah,
huge.
listen. Again, it wasn't a good day at all. I mean, and this was all before things got underway. But yeah, that exact interaction happened. I was close enough that I could overhear clearly the nature of the conversation. And then after it was said, I went to go sit back down because we're here for a memorial service, not the fucking make little
Congregation.
comments like that. Like, like what the fuck are you talking
I
about?
mean,
You
Larry,
guys
if
can
what
talk-
you're saying is true, that's the most tone-deaf response to what's been going on the last few months than, you could ever possibly imagine from a man of, Tony Khan's intelligence.
Well, I had thought about this for a while, or I didn't stay on it, but what I noticed after I sat down was that TK was sitting next to Chris Jericho. And in just sort of knowing the machinations of how things work sometimes. I was like, huh, I wonder if Jericho told him to go over there and say that so he could see the SAT's reaction.
No, Larry.
Dude,
never know.
I fucking believe it, bro. It's a whole suck fest. It's a whole suck fest, bro.
Yeah, man, and it just didn't,
Look, Sean's just taking off his headphones. Sean's done with this. Sean's got a future in this business, y'all. Sean's got a future in this business, man. He can't be a part of this. He's getting the hell out of here, dude. He can't be part of this breaking news, dude.
Dude, I didn't. Sorry, and
He's back. Look, I'm sorry. It's all right. He's back.
He's back. He's back. Okay. Oh,
It's a joke. It was a joke.
My ear sweating.
Yeah, that happened, and I did think it was kind of like, why is he saying that? Like, but it was very laughingly kind of said, like kind of like jokingly said.
No,
like,
I want to fight him.
guys,
I want to fight him now.
It's very telling that people say things in like situations and then they don't act on them because you still haven't seen SAT in AEW.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't, yeah.
You haven't really seen the SAP either, have you? Though have they been doing?
They're
shit?
only on the Dark Elevation.
Okay. So they're doing. I'm barely watching Dynamite as it is because it stinks.
Yeah,
Wow.
who are they? And Helico,
Angelico, Luther, and Serpentico.
That's the guy who I was like, yes, he's still around. So Luther has a role. He's SAP.
Yep.
Oh gosh, so then that gives more credence to
What you just said.
about.
Yep.
Absolutely terrible. Right.
It's good shit, dude.
All right, we'll just delete this. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're like, yeah.
Just so everyone knows, Larry's now a permanent member of this show.
Oh,
Permanent fixture.
Are you're fucking going into business for yourself, I see, Brian?
I just made you part of the team, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm always watching. I'm always watching.
You made me so happy during this that you now need to be here every week.
Yeah.
You've made Brian happy, which isn't a small task because he loves.
What's the chat saying? I can't see. I'm usually in the chat. What's going on?
Oh, I think it's been dead silent. Just probably our enemies screen recording us. Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably just our
enemies,
enemies screen recording us, dude.
Well, we got plenty of those.
So
Fuck 'em all.
that's like the only trip that I'm a little bit worried about. And don't worry about it, Larry, because what happens here on this show stays on the show. We're not going to be Chris Van Vliet and take clips and fucking put little GIFs and photos on them and like make it a Sesame Street type clip. What happens here stays here. So please make sure you subscribe.
You can do whatever you want with this. I don't give a shit. I have no reason to listen. You're a Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. Sean's a Sagittarius. What are you, Brian? An Aries?
I'm an Aries.
Okay, you got hoops too. You got hoops too. Okay?
Hoops Club.
Yeah, we don't got no reason to fucking lie. Like I don't, so fuck it. I don't care.
Fuck everybody, bro.
Yeah, I'm only gonna be honest. That's the way my mama raised me. That's how I am. I'm honest. So
the Blvd Bullies motto.
Yeah.
So if something happened in the wrestling world. Like maybe somebody in the world changed the word money to money.
Money.
That was really funny. I wanted to talk about that, but you know what? The show's over now. The show is over now.
2 hours?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been 2 hours and 14 minutes and 6 seconds.
By. Shit flies by, brother.
Flies by like a time warp.
Well, Larry,
so do I get to hear the theme? Do I get to hear the theme when we go to the fade out?
No, we don't hear or see shit.
Oh, that sucks.
No, you know what, Larry? Just for you, I'm gonna screen share.
Yeah, but let me hear that shit.
Then we get it.
I'm gonna screen share with you right now, Larry.
The real reason I came.
C-U-M.
You should have been doing this the whole time. You could have pulled. You could have pulled up. Pat doesn't. Pat fucked up the whole show.
How did I fuck up the whole show?
I'm just kidding.
No, now I can't. Now I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night, dude. Now I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night. Are you guys screen sharing? Sean, I see on your screen that you're sharing that you are screen sharing.
Do I have to screen share too?
All right.
Oh, we can see the chat.
Dude, this is we should have did this the whole time.
We can see the chat.
Next week, same time, same channel.
Put stank on it.
So this is what we should have been doing the whole time, is what you guys are telling me?
Yeah.
And then I
I'm
could have
reading
pulled
the
up.
chat. I love the chat. I'm in
Right.
there often, so I would love to have seen that.
Well, I mean,
see?
listen, what can I tell you?
It's all good. We'll
We'll be back. We'll be
and
back.
error.
Damn it.
Yo, all right, so let's go around the table. We got Brian, the one punch, bad take Bri, the one punch
take
merch
Bri.
guy. Final thoughts on the week in wrestling?
I think this has been the best show we've ever did, and it's because of Larry, who is now the permanent member of this show. Because
Brian's
as I
going
said,
into business for himself. He's
Yeah.
let it be written, let it be done.
He's doing
That's
his
it.
own negotiations.
I'm the Moses of this one.
Thank you so much, Brian. Sean, please.
Listen, the road is starting. We made a pit stop. We picked up Larry along the way, and we keeping
I'm
it
here.
moving, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, before I throw it to the legendary one, Larry, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Tune in every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on YouTube, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. on Twitch, every Thursday, 8 p.m. on Twitch for New Game Thursday. Every Monday, now we're doing the Instagram Live. Now, all of a sudden, on Wednesdays and Fridays, we're doing Instagram Live. So just follow Blvd Bullies on all social media platforms. And we're 200 followers away from a 17K giveaway. Also, the winner of the Matt Tremont card is our oldest and most loyal fan, someone who I love with all my heart, Urka Jerk. Brian, you put that in a fucking vacuum sealed,
I'm gonna seal the fuck out of it,
waterproof envelope, and you
Right.
send that to Urka.
bro. Waterproof
Urka.
sealed, bro.
And Larry, can I get your final thoughts on your first and hopefully first of many Blvd Bullies versus the world broadcast?
I'm gonna say there were a lot of weeks that I watched and I was a little jelly that y'all had your thing going and that I only could chat. So it was a real honor for me to be brought on, and the fact that Brian is adamant that I'm gonna be here from now on, I think seals the deal.
Oh,
Brian, making moves, doing business.
One
I make good business.
one door closes and another window opens has been a narrative in my career from the rip. So I'm coming in.
Coming in hot.
Coming
We have a
hard.
comment from our card winner, Urka.
C-U-M.
C-U-M.
You're coming in hot. C-U-M. We have a comment from our card winner, Urka. Thank you, guys. You make my life so much better. Thank you, Urka. I'm going to mute y'all, and I'm going to play the song. And that's how we're going to finish the evening. Play that fucking track. Did you not hear it? It's playing. Can you not hear it? Well, look on the YouTube. Can you hear it on the YouTube? You goddamn bastards.
Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
full of us.